This is the UGASports watch-along show for Georgia versus Georgia Tech. I'm Dayne Young. That's Radi Nabulsi. This is head coach Jim Donnan. We are your second screen experience for Georgia Bulldogs football. Get set to watch Georgia on your main TV and have us on your phone, tablet, laptop, your second screen device. Radi, tell us about the people that make this possible.
Well, this entire season would not be possible without our friends at Bud Light Seltzer, Leon Farmer and Kathleen Mansfield.
Here we go.
Set it up. Coach has got the Bud Light Seltzer shirt on there, and I'm knocking them back here as we drink, hitting these fall flannel packs. So thanks to them for doing that. And of course, our friends at Athens Ford, you need to get out there for the next 2 weeks. Every vehicle you buy, they will give a bicycle, a brand new bicycle. They got a ton of them out there to give to kids in the local Athens area. So be sure to swing by our friends at Athens Ford. We wouldn't be able to have this show without them. So shout out to our sponsors, and then shout out to Coach Donnan, who flew back from his family, abandoned his family in Oklahoma to come hang out with us. And we really appreciate it, Coach. We missed you last week. Wasn't a great game last week. Well, it was a great game for Georgia, but not exactly a nail-biter. And I'm not expecting a nail-biter today.
Yeah, you know, these games, you never know. Like, everybody talks about throw out the record, but in this case, there's just so much discrepancy in the talent level. And, you know, Coach Collins is trying hard over there, but they just hadn't been able to get over the hump. And the last couple of weeks, they've just really gone backwards. So, you know, they could get a couple of things going early and maybe get some juice, but at the same time, Georgia's really got a lot going for them. And congratulations to Coach Kirby Smart on just an unbelievable just juggernaut through the Eastern Division of the SEC, and now getting ready for the championship game next week. But we'll talk about it as the game progresses. But I look for a couple things here today. We got two guys that aren't playing, and not to mention Anderson, who, you know, is out for the year now. It really takes a lot out of your defense. I don't care how you look at it. There's no way to say that you can get a guy 6'6" that can run 4.5, then can play star, play in, rush the passer, play multiple positions like he did. But, you know, it is what it is. So they've done a good job of filling in for him. So then you've got Chris Smith at safety out, hurt his knee in a kind of a freak thing a couple of weeks ago. And they're just being real protective of him. And you need him badly against Alabama, who throws the ball so much. So we'll see Jackson still continue to play there. And then we see Jamari Salyer, who's really worked hard to get back. But I don't think he's going, from what you say, I don't think he's even dressing out today. But Jones has done a good job at that left tackle position. So ostensibly you're playing without three major starters on your team, but you're still 35-point favorite. So that just shows you the depth that Kirby's built up. So looking forward to being back with you guys. I heard, I watched your broadcast out there after I watched the Oklahoma game. I enjoyed being in the stands for the first time in a long time for a little bit until about the first play. And then I just heard these idiots the whole game, just everything that you could say about the team, negatory now. I mean, it was like the prophet of doom, and they won the game, but it's just hard for me to believe that fans can be that cynical, but I guess that's the way it is. And I'm glad that I did it one time. I'm not doing it anytime soon again, because it's just so ridiculous to critique these kids and these coaches like they do out there. And I'm sure the same thing happens here, but you're on the watch-along show here today. And
the dog vent is very tame. It's all positive.
Hey, you're on the watch-along show here, and we're a Homer broadcast, and I'm not going to find anything wrong much. But if there's something wrong, we'll point it out, but not to the extent of, hey, can't you rush the passer? What's going on?
Hey,
tackle the guy. Hey, catch the ball. That's the one thing. Catch the ball. Yeah, like he dropped it on purpose. Can't you catch it?
Well, he wasn't sure what to do when the ball got there, Coach. He forgot.
Right. So it was a lot of fun being out there and seeing some of my old the best part about it was just seeing some of my players, seeing Coach Switzer, Joe Castiglione, the AD, and, of course, my family. That goes without saying. That was awesome, too, and had some good memories of Mary and talked about, you know, just about everything. So everybody was there but my grandson, Grant, who lives in Los Angeles, and he's coming in next week. to see his mother for a week or so. So we'll see how that goes. But just sitting around and talking ball with some of these guys, just amazing the memory they have of games, just like I do. And most of the memories are really good. But then you start talking about what if, And funny story, one of my coaches that I coach with, we were sitting there and a player had a guy call him and he was talking to him and he said, "Hey, Coach Donnan and Coach Gibbs and Coach Switzer are here." And before anything, Gibbs said, "Hey, tell him to cover that dig route against Washington." So that happened in 1984. So that's the way things go. But getting back to this game.
I won't tell you when I was born.
Getting back to this game. Clean old-fashioned hate. Coach McGill, the first day that I got the job at Georgia, he just came in there and he says, "Do you know who the enemy is?" Well, he said, "Do you know who the enemy is?" And I said, "I'm not sure. There's a lot of teams." He said, "Just don't forget, it's Tech. I hate Tech." And he's right. This is the enemy. Let's wreck Tech today. There's going to be a lot of Georgia fans in the stadium. I think some of these Tech fans don't want to come to there's a difference between exposure and being exposed.
Yeah.
And today it should happen, but stranger things have happened. But I know this: Coach Kirby Smart does a great job of games like this when he's a prohibitive favorite of really getting his team ready. I mean, because our O goes against the D and all that, and I think it'll be a good chance to show off some of these other guys. And we'll see. We got Dan Orlovsky. So for sure you need to get the watch along, Coach.
Yeah.
This guy here invented football. If you don't believe it, listen to him. He'll tell you everything that should happen. But don't listen to him. Listen to me. I like Bob there, the play-by-play guy. But Dan's a good guy. He just has a hard time stopping talking.
I have that problem too. I bust in a lot.
I've heard of Georgia fans that have season tickets to Georgia Tech simply for this game, and then it's not much money otherwise for the rest of Tech's schedule.
I know those folks, and they were showing the live overhead view about 2 minutes ago when we first started. The empty stadium. So there's a lot of
one of my friends called the Tech ticket office this morning and said, "Hey, you got any tickets for the game today?" And he said, "Yeah, we got some." He said, "You got any on the Georgia side?" He said, "Yeah, we got some." He said, "How many you want?" And he said, 4. He said, "You got any on the 45?" He said, "Yeah, we got 45. We can do it." He said, "Well, what time does the game start?" He said, "What time do you want it to start?" So, hey, I had to tell that Tech story. So 10 straight times Georgia's won over there. Did you realize that?
I really didn't.
I remember when we lost over there. That just chaps my ass still. I mean, that one with Jasper Saints, but we're not going to get into that today. But just really exciting time for Georgia football. Ranked number 1 in the country. The next couple of weeks is just going to be so much press about our school, our university, all the good things around here, and promoting our players. I mean, you'll hear national media just coming in here, interview after interview on campus, and need to get Dayne Young to get him around there to the and talk about all the things that he knows about, because he'd be the number 1 guy as far as promoting Georgia, just like he does all the time, Mr. Marketing.
That's the job. We can get him over at Grady College.
Hey, you could do a good job of it, and they need to look at you as another role in there. I think there's some things opening up over there. They need to put you in there.
Yeah. Want a promotion?
From you? Yeah.
No, we aren't giving you. Your promotion would be to be paid. We're not going to be having that. Speaking of promotion marketing, again, want to shout out to our friends at Athens Ford for sponsoring the show. Be sure to check them out. Great financing deals available on their vehicles. And again, every time you go out there and buy a new or pre-owned vehicle, they're going to give a brand new bicycle to a kid in need in the Athens area. They do a charity every year. They do the bicycle charity every other year. This is a fantastic one. It's neat to go out there and see all the bikes lined up, and then you see your name on it, and it's going to a kid, and it just makes you feel good. And of course, you get fantastic service out there. Now, from a marketing standpoint, you see I got the Bud Light Seltzer drink holder there.
I got the Bud Light shirt. Can you see my shirt, Radi, on the?
I can see it.
Appreciate them setting up the old coach with us. nice Nike drop fit. Probably be using this to play tennis here soon. So,
I want to mention the flavors real quick because I'm knocking back the maple pear right now.
yeah.
So you want to try the maple pear? It's really good.
Hey, let me just tell you this: the next time you leave all these bottles and cans around here, people accusing me of being alky, man. They would come down there and see all these things laying around. No, hey, it's good.
I know you're kind of a drunk. It's okay.
Hey, but you knocked them out and stayed pretty good. I mean, I don't know how many you had last week, but
There was a lot.
this will be fun today. And just for your information, according to the Grand Poo-Poo over there, we're going to have this game on next week when Georgia plays at, I think, 4:00 against the Alabama Crimson Tide over there in the championship game. And
Wow, but we'll only do it if you guys share this one. So be sure to share this.
Yeah, we need to get to 23,000 on the YouTube today if we can. We got 20 close to 21. If we could get 2,000 of you just to subscribe, that would be great. And
I love it.
let me down. If you don't do it, I'm going to probably have to retire. So that's my challenge today. Somebody
bring the ultimatums out.
Get Chuck Ward and some of those people out there who's a great support. Chuck sent me a great picture yesterday of the sideline when Hines Ward was running down there and looked like he was laughing at the Tech players, and had my son Todd, who's in graduate school, and my son-in-law Greg over in the background, and he recognized them both, and I sent it to them, and they got a big laugh out of it.
Awesome.
So Chuck's just a loyal supporter of ours. Missed getting to talk to the Maryland farmer last week. She sent me a little note, said, hey, go out there and enjoy your family, but she wanted to make sure I was coming back for this game. And Georgia Tech changing their jerseys today, going with a different look, but Georgia with the traditional silver breeches and white jerseys. And, when you play a non-conference game on the road, you can take, as many as you want. We got 85 on the trip, and looks like we get ready. So tell them what to do there, Dayne.
Georgia has just kicked off. As we do this second screen experience, we will tell you the time on the game clock as we see it. And this is being returned.
Oh, very bad return.
That was really not good right there. I don't know.
Maybe start on their 7.
Maybe the guy dropped it. I can't.
They may give him to about the 9, I think. So it's 14:53 on the game clock as we see it. Georgia Tech's offense coming out onto the field. Coach, tell me what you know about Jeff Collins and Georgia Tech.
Jeff Collins is a solid coach. I mean, he's had a good background. He worked for Nick Saban. He coached at Mississippi State as D coordinator. Worked at the University of Florida as D coordinator. Got the Temple job and did a pretty good job up there. And since he's come to Tech, though, taking over a team that was wishbone oriented, they've just not had the offense. Got a good back in Gibbs. I mean, really good back. And I hope that we can rock him a little bit. They're going with Yates at quarterback.
And the shadows back here, a little hard to see.
Hey, don't tell about that, man. We got
Trayvon Walker with the quarterback takedown there.
This could be huge to stop them on the first series and make them punt into the win. I mean, punt to us right off the bat. Here's the one thing that I figured that they would do. Take their time, run the clock down, try to use as much of the clock as they can, and see what happens.
14-18, 14-17, 14-16 game clock.
Nowhere to run to, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, he did a pirouette there, and ball at the line of scrimmage. This is a complete physical mismatch, and talking about Nolan Smith.
The skull sessions and the connection piece that this team has. That's kind of the special sauce that Georgia has identified this year.
And we hear a lot about, how close guys are and how much they're teammates and brothers. But
right.
This year has been different.
We got Nolan in the game. I'm glad to see him playing. So 3-man rush here. Little screen. That guy's going down like the Titanic.
Good tackle from N'Kobe Dean.
Here's what you got to be careful of here now. No stupid penalties. And the other thing is just please be leery of any late hits and cheap shots, and all of a sudden get in a situation where you have to miss the first half of the next game.
All right, so has he returned this one all the way, Coach?
I doubt it. I don't think this guy can kick it far enough.
Okay.
13:05, 13:04, 13:03. That's the game clock. Georgia Tech, 4th and 4, punting.
And you don't go after this one because you know you're going to get in a good field position.
Be a good time to fake it, Jeff.
That's Jeff with a G.
Oh.
Double dribble, but he's got a chance here. Late hit.
If it's 55 yards wide, he scores.
Yeah.
Good first series for Georgia's defense. Offense gets the ball in good field position, and let's see who runs out there.
Being where your feet are, what about the rest of your body?
Well, you know, he invented football. So.
I guess I'm just saying don't have your head in the clouds thinking about Alabama.
Well, that's true.
Well,
let's see if George is out there.
Now they spend a lot of time building this graphic, so they got to show you the graphic. All right. 12:40 on the game clock is we watch.
Probably going to put this guy in motion here.
Ridiculous field position there. Gotta love it.
Throw the rocket screen to him.
Blocking from McConkey there. Oh, that's Bowers, excuse me. Man, I'm getting mixed up with these shadows.
Well, at least I hadn't lost a little bit. I got the first one right.
We know you might be a little rusty coming in.
Yeah.
I think he's a little sharper from having been in a college football stadium. Seeing it from that angle.
Why didn't they block that better?
Yeah, why?
I'm going to pretend I'm in the stands.
Why didn't they run it?
Why didn't I throw it deep?
Got Cook in. Terrible TV here.
Yeah, it is bad. That's why you got to watch the show with us. And please share this with your friends.
Cook's going to come back this way with it. Should have.
Yeah.
Get off the ground, boys.
Here comes Zamir White and Brock Bowers. A.D. Mitchell going to the sideline.
Going up with the Kirby forgot to tie his shoe. That's good luck. Double tie. Got two tight ends in there. George Pickens.
George Pickens.
Is that number one? Did somebody? I wish somebody would have said he was going to play.
I just want credit for that, and everybody in the media followed me. You guys are welcome. I kid.
He's probably going deep to his ass right now.
No, oh,
terrible run.
That
good call by coach there, running a little bit different look there off the other side. We're subbing a lot of people here. This could be Wildcat.
Subbing everybody. I really thought he had it though, Coach. Well, I saw that big gap there. I'm like, he's going right into it.
Yeah.
10:55, 10:54, 10:53. It's 3rd and 4 for Georgia.
Keep it. They're going to heat us up here, boys.
Yeah.
Man coverage.
Oh, my
Get your head around. That guy drops more passes than anybody in the history of America. Get your head around. That's a great throw. Watch his throw.
And wide open, too.
Oh, my goodness.
Ridiculous.
That's frustrating. So, you're supposed to yell, catch the ball, Coach. Catch the damn ball.
Yeah. All I said was get your head around. You got that was why
that's coaching. You're not complaining. There's a difference between the two.
This is not a gimme here.
Kick is up.
Oh, just on the inside.
And it's good. I want to point out a quick thing, Coach, that I saw just before that play began. So Jake Camarda stands up. He taps his helmet. I'm assuming his role there is to count the players in the field. He realized they didn't have enough. They had 10 out there. So then Darnell Washington comes sprinting out there to play on that. So there's another responsibility that you don't always think of.
Yeah, here's the other thing, too. When the ball's at that place on the field, even if he's late coming in, you don't take a delay a game on a field goal unless it's 30-plus yards, okay? Just go ahead and take a delay a game if you don't have. But there was a situation where Darnell came out of the game and was not in tune of what the down and distance was, and that's a learning point for Kirby to tell him over there, hey, stay in the game. And just couple of what ifs on that series.
Yeah.
But if
Well, a little bit better run there.
you had White had it. You had White had it, and good to see Pickens in the game. But I would like to see him over there catching that slant.
Yeah.
But it's the way it goes.
Well, I mean, it's the first time he's been on the field in a year, so he gets to go out there and get the juices flowing. He's been in practice. He's been going up against Georgia's defensive backs, but he actually suit up again. Remember last time he was there, he threw a kid through a wall. So kind of good for him to get back out there and get the
explain that
the butterflies down. So
in 2019, there was a little scuffle between a Georgia Tech defensive back and George Pickens. They do the thing with football players that I don't understand, where you're throwing punches at a guy with a helmet, but both of them are doing it. And it was close enough to the back of the end zone that George Pickens grabbed him by the shoulder and tossed him right into the wall head first.
So, Radi,
not exactly a good play, but a funny one.
Oh, coaches, I'm sure, hated it because it's like, dude, you're hurting your team. Fans absolutely adored it. And just said, do that to Georgia Tech every time.
Yeah. Radi went out on a limb and predicted Pickens would play. So, as usual, not as usual, occasionally.
Occasionally.
But good job.
The trick is to make a lot of predictions and only point out the ones that turn out well.
Well, going back on the season, you had Stetson Bennett starting over Beck. That was nobody in captivity thought that. And then Pickens, nobody knew if he's going to be cleared or not. So it's ridiculous to see you in Kirby's driveway at night. Because I live over here, when I drive there and I see that at Ford that you get from hey, you do a good job with the Athens Ford. You get that.
Well, we got the surveillance package
and
in that at Ford.
You're right there waiting for Kirby and saying, Kirby, here's a Bud Light seltzer, and tell me is Pickens playing? And he says, well, it's been a rough week. I'll take one.
I'm throwing this comment on the screen because it made me laugh. Richard Allen says, Radi, broken clock, Nabulsi.
Yes.
What was
broken clock is right twice a day, just like Roddy's predictions.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
That was a win for Georgia Tech right there, and it really chapped Uga's butt. Look how mad Uga is. I mean, he just doesn't have that gleam in his eye that for the Yellow Jacket stinger.
All right, so Georgia gets set to kick off here. There's 10:34 here in the first. Ball's in the air.
I would think this guy.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to take the touchback here.
With Pickens,
I could see Tech using some first play here, some kind of trick play. I mean, it just feels to me like, hey, we got the ball in the 25. Let's go for it. They could run a double pass, a yo-yo pass, bring Jeff Collins out there in a different colored number, anything. A lot of big games today. A lot of things happening around the country as far as playoffs, and particularly that Oklahoma State game.
That's a big one.
And Michigan, Ohio State.
Go Big Blue.
1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets, 25-yard line. 10:34 in the first.
Just running straight stuff here.
Big Jordan Davis on the tackle.
Like to see Kendrick come up and support like that.
Appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope you all had a very happy Thanksgiving.
I am glad to see Nolan Smith up there. Before the game, I actually tweeted out I didn't expect him to play today because he had that elbow issue. He's got the huge elbow brace on.
Yeah, he's
tough.
He's glad he's in there. He needs some reps. Jordan does too. They're not in any hurry, the rambling wreck.
You're right. 10 seconds left on the clock.
Quarterback draw again, maybe.
Both middle linebackers come in, coach. Send them both.
Well, that was ugly protection.
Yeah.
We're coming in with a little different unit here. Carter and
what is that?
Carter and Walker Quay coming in, taking out the big boys. Give them a little juice over there, boys, or some biscuits.
Yeah, as I said, a biscuit and gravy for my boy Devontae White, and some gummy worms for Big Jordan Davis.
You know who's the happiest player on the field right now? Center for Tech. They know we got some kind of 3-man package here. Now, who's going to come? Look at all those guys. This is amoeba defense. You know, everybody moving around. You don't know who you got.
Yeah.
Here comes somebody from left field.
Wow.
Get the tackle. The Tech field seems a little slippery. I mean, have they changed the turf?
Not since 1928.
I mean, is that turf?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at
It
it.
doesn't grow grass like they want it to.
Look at this slip.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to grow grass when you use an engineer as an agriculture guy.
I'm sure we'd sell them some of that grass technology we have.
I guess. I mean, one of these times they're going to fake something.
908, 907, 906, 4th and 5.
Lefty punter. I hate those lefty punts. They're hard to catch.
That's a good point.
That was a strong one.
All right. Georgia's going to put Pickens in down on the weak side and throw a comeback to him because the guy thinks he's going deep.
That is so specific. Oh my gosh. You're getting confident, Coach.
No, I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Don't take a commercial break.
That's exactly what they're doing. You know, with Pickens, it's so crazy to me how, really in my lifetime, how ACL injuries is such a shorter thing, because there was a time, and Radi, you've covered it forever, that when you had an ACL, there was a chance that was a career ender, much less come back in virtually 6-7 months.
No, I do remember Hayes' ACL, he'll never be the same. Of course, go prior to that, guys tore ACLs kept playing.
Yeah.
But then their careers ended, because their knees were all shot to hell. But yeah, I mean, there's some warriors out there who could play on bad stuff like that. But
kind of a badass story with Jake Bentley, the former South Carolina quarterback, playing at South Alabama, his third college, his final year. He's going to go into coaching. Tore his ACL, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. And rather than have surgery, he rehabbed as much as you can because he wanted to play in one last college football game, and he did that last night. And then now he'll get it fixed and become a coach.
So I mean, it's a to see guys come back. When I put out the prediction that George Pickens was going to play, the first response we got in our 3-2-1 report was, if George Pickens plays tomorrow, I think Ron Corson's an alien. And I'm like, yeah, he's an alien. He's the Mr. Miyagi, wrote his hands, put it on the kid.
Well, some of it's Corson, but it takes such dedication from the player to be where you're supposed to be and do the work you're supposed to do with that kind of rehab.
Well, and Dr. Andrews, let's give him credit for the surgery there and the checking it. And I know that the entire Georgia fan base, I was like, hey, can he come back? We hear he's in practice. We hear he's running routes. We hear he's with the scout team. We hear he's getting reps with the second and third team. And you just figure if he can do any of that, he can play. And folks, that's not how it works. And I don't mean to be taking on a lecturing tone, but when you hear about them working with the scout team or working with the second or third team, that's the penultimate of what they can do at that point. It's not, they can add on to that. So you take those baby steps, and then he's back. And
the reason you don't want him to do it with the first team is you don't want him taking reps away from a guy getting ready to play.
Yeah.
It's okay to do some reps with the second team because they're not going to play much anyhow. So that's why they work them with as they build up, and it's all based on the tests that they do on their hamstrings, their calves, their Achilles, everything about it, because you don't want to hurt something else. Structurally, your knee's okay, but you got to be able to support it with the different parts of your leg. So
go back to Dominic Blaylock coming back from ACL surgery. He was ready to come back a couple weeks ago. What happened? He had a hamstring issue. So
right. And then he got the flu.
Then he got the flu.
Poor guy.
I didn't want to mention the folks we have in the Bud Light seltzer, the flavors. I'm knocking back the maple pear, but they also have the apple crisp, the toasted marshmallow, and the pumpkin spice. So
a lot of good choices.
You can actually put that online.
It's not going to be here. He's still going with Mitchell.
Boom. Let me pop up that.
Yeah.
I go second screen.
Show my flavors there.
There's the flavors.
This could be some play action of Bowers. Look at these boys stemming. They're copying us.
Copycats.
Nice shot.
What a crazy throw there. Love it.
All right, just keep your mouth shut. Good protection there by the dogs.
A lot of critics that say Stetson is a one-read quarterback and can't go through progressions. I mean, right there. Good grief.
Yeah, go answer the phone if you think that. How about that, seeing his corner blitz and just throwing it out there? Nice read.
That was.
There's your slinky.
What happens is your safety has to go over there and cover the guy when he comes off the edge, and just a really good release there.
8-14, 8-13, 8-12.
I like our tempo right now. I like what we're doing here.
Just going. Jermaine Burton at the bottom there.
Probably going to inside run here. Using the snap count. Make the first, Stetson, that a boy.
You did.
Keep them healthy. All right, first down, Georgia. Really made up his mind there. 6 really didn't play it. That was not worth it. But it's first down.
7:35, 7:34, 7:33.
Give me some 19, please. Please give me some 19 over there towards Kirby Smart and help him tie his shoe. Give me some 19.
Well, there he goes. He's going to Kirby Smart's side, coach, just like you asked.
Yeah. Wheel route.
Well, there's your 19.
Cut back in.
I got to go.
Tell me
Give
about
some
this
19
route.
on Kirby Smart's side. Well, he goes to Kirby Smart's side, throws a 19.
Well, he can't tie his shoe when he's over there.
Yeah.
Was that a fake wheel that cuts back in?
Yeah, it was. He faked me out, but I knew he was going 19. I'm saying the numbers because some of you guys don't, some of y'all don't know the players, but he should be in that Mackey Award for the best player tight end in the country. Look at us running a double slot here, trying to condense this here and still make the running play work. Good job there by Coach Munkin bringing them in, thinking
that a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's little. We used to call it dual when they were out wide, and Dixie when they came in. Dixie means in. D-I. You got that?
I got it.
Kirby's pretty nonchalant here. He likes it when the defense is over there
Look at all
and
those
the
tight
offense.
ends out wide, coach.
Who's that?
They sent both their tight ends out.
Yeah, I mean, because they're going to throw a flare screen.
Yeah.
Or a quarterback draw even.
Coach Schaefer's looking. Schaefer, I think Schaefer forgot the play.
We're pulling a little bit of that. That's a little Oklahoma play where you got the screen out here, and if the backer runs, then you just go out there. Schaefer double team somebody. I mean, he's not used to being downfield.
He is not used to being downfield that far.
That's really, I think they ran that play for Alabama, just to let them know we have it.
Y'all better prepare for this. Exactly. But that flare screen was a good look for those two tight ends out there as you're blocking.
He's under center because he's probably going to be a play action. Didn't block that
He
great.
did not. James still picked up 3 yards out of it.
One thing about it, they're set up for the naked boot. He's set up for about anything, but I'd put Pickens in, throw the damn fade, let him go in that end zone.
Jermaine King says, Coach, can you give us the cash 3 numbers, please?
Cash 3. Was that on the
That's 3 numbers 1 through 10, right?
yeah. Is that on some kind of Georgia lottery?
That's the Georgia lottery.
My friend Bill Rockwell won the lottery twice.
Ooh.
We need him to be a sponsor of the
He's
show.
not worried about 3rd and long, I can tell you that.
2nd and
Good
7 for
man,
Georgia.
though.
Oh. Wow.
That throw was off his back foot.
You know, I told him to hit it into that, but not necessarily. But that was a strong there, Big Bert. I'm going to tell you what now, that quarterback on that drive right there could play for anybody in the country. I mean, look what he's doing here.
What a throw.
Come on, get a stronger arm.
Yeah, no, he's too weak, Coach.
I mean, anybody that doesn't understand what this kid's capable of is in complete denial. You got to say he doesn't have the arm strength. Give me a break.
Well, he only throws it 14 times a game, 15 times a game. That's what because he's not strong enough to throw more than
That was a brilliant drive right
that
there.
was.
I mean, this is brilliant.
Notice he wasn't even looking at him.
Well, you're not supposed to go out there and look at
I'm
him.
just saying, but my point is, when people say all the time, he's not going through his progressions, coach. He's staring down a receiver.
That shit's out. I mean, that stuff's out of the way now. We don't.
But it drives me crazy.
Well,
Like,
don't let it worry you. Don't let it worry you.
It bugs me. Again, I don't have a favorite. I don't care one way or the other. I just want
the other guy's
same
good.
Application to be applied to both guys or all four guys.
The other guy's good.
The other guy is a fantastic.
He can't do those runs that this guy just did. But the one thing that I would like to see is Washington a little bit, but that was good with Bowers and. I'm
not only Bowers, coach. Go back to you got Jermaine Burton, George Pickens up there. Kyrus Jackson throws it off. The guys that we had not seen early in the season because Kyrus was injured, Jermaine Burton wasn't playing. George Pickens up. Now let's see a little Marcus Rosemary-Jackson. In other words, get all your weapons for this game coming up next week. All right, you got to be excited as a Georgia fan. I'm excited as a.
Who we play next week?
Some guy from Alabama.
They're back in Atlanta. That's what I know.
Exactly. Coming back to Atlanta. Do want to give a big shout out to our friends over at Bud Light Seltzer. And I have the book. I mentioned this last time we were here. The book that was written by Leon Farmer Jr. Okay? And he wrote it about baby Leon, little Vicky, and the others. It's basically Eloise and Sarge Farmer, the first farmer, first Leon there. The
brilliant man, Leon Farmer Jr.
So
brilliant.
I do want to tell people it's a fantastic book. Tons of pictures in it. Great stories, funny stories. An absolute great read if you get a chance. Swing out if you're in Athens. Go by Leon Farmer. They have copies of them out there. They'll be more than happy to set you up with one. If you want this one, give me a call. I got a couple copies. I'll be happy to get it to you. And big shout out to them for sponsoring. Now, when people ask me, how many of those Bud Light seltzers do you drink? I'm like, well, I drink a lot of them. But the reason is they're only 100 calories.
Yeah.
And I put on like 5 pounds the other day at Thanksgiving. So to get back down to my fighting weight, I'm going to have to stick with these and not any other beers because 100 calories a pop, 5% alcohol by volume, which is not a whole lot. But if you drink enough of them, it can by the fourth quarter, you can be saying some stupider stuff than you were saying in the first quarter. So pace yourself, folks. But no weird aftertaste. It's fantastic.
We're showing off this fall flannel pack, the apple crisp, maple pear, pumpkin spice, and toasted marshmallow. You've been telling me about the apple crisp for a while.
It's good. But today I'm going maple pear because I just kind of had apple pie yesterday or Thursday, so I'm going with a little maple pear because I like it. So
when I first got here, Leon Farmer came up to my office and he said, "You mind if I shut the door?" And I said, "Okay." And he came in there. He said, "I'm just going to tell you about Athens, and I'm going to tell you about the people that'll help you and the people that won't, and the people that'll talk to you that think you're going to help you and they won't." And he was about 100% right.
I love that guy.
He was down to earth, but very, very ability to look into the future and tell you what to do.
Clairvoyant?
Yeah, clairvoyant's good.
You like
word.
that?
Ooh, somebody's bucking for a promotion.
Down to earth too.
Shadow in the YouTube chat says
we got to keep covering these kicks and put this game out of reach. You know, that one field goal is going to make it hard on the cover unless you get a defensive touchdown.
Shadow in the YouTube chat says that was Georgia's best drive of the season, excluding the 90-yard drive against Tennessee, which was also fantastic. Could be. It's a very good drive.
There goes the Michigan Wolverines. They're trying to help Cincinnati and everybody else.
How'd they get the red zone twice so quickly? Oh, they gave one up.
That's why you don't throw it in the red zone.
Especially over the middle.
Yeah, you don't throw it over the middle. That's good.
4:38 here in the first quarter. Georgia leads 10-0 against Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets take over the 25-yard line.
I could see a pick here. Good run.
That is a good run. 6-yard gain.
Well protected.
So far, they've been doing all their running away from the field and into the boundary. You know, the first series went down the right boundary, and this one they're going down the left. But
And I ask you this all the time, but why do you run into the boundary?
Because defense is more prevalent to the field. And, you know, you got a lot more room to cover, and running into the boundary works a lot of times, but unless you got guys like Walker. And
2nd and 4, 4 minutes left, first quarter.
351, 350. First down.
Tough play to defend there. They
That is.
ran the RPO, and we got caught inside.
Yeah.
Almost a block in the back.
I was a block in the back, but they're not going to call. As much as we, as fans that want to make fun of Tech, keep an eye on Jahmyr Gibbs, number 1 there. He is quite the athlete.
For some reason, they're detaching him and letting the other guy play inside.
Yeah.
We got a cover 2 shell here. Don't hit a screen to him. Come up and tackle. Dan Jackson.
Dan Jackson from way back there. Bro.
You should have offered me a scholarship, Tech. Good read by Dan, safety there. And it's pretty obvious what they're doing, trying to spread us out, get the ball in space. And the most overlooked rule in college football, you know what it is?
No, sir.
Knee pads. The knee pad are supposed to cover your knees. Show me one guy out there on the field that has a knee pad that's on covering their knees. Just look at them. Most of them look like they got Bermuda shorts on. Look at those knee pads. Except Tech, they got theirs covered because they don't want to break any rules.
226, 225, 224, first quarter.
We're playing with ACC referees today.
Batted. Incomplete pass.
Good job, Bill. Playing a lot of guys so far. That's just tremendous job there.
Good job, Robert Beal. At IMG.
Right here. This is
your INT coach?
No, this is right here is Lions versus Christians. 3rd and 14 against Tech with our front.
How many you send?
I wouldn't send many. I'd cover the heck out of them. We don't need.
You can get pressure with 3.
They're going to send at least 4.
Playing man coverage, yo.
More than that.
6.
Lucky. You had your Keely.
Yeah. Just a bad throw. Saved you.
4th and 14 after the incompletion. Tech out to punt.
A little late there, Tyndall.
Yeah.
Good route.
He knows he should have had it too. So
ACC refs don't call any penalties. We're going back with McConkey. We're going after it. Oh, he should have had it. He's a left-footed kicker. He went for his right foot.
Yeah, he did.
Yikes. Come on, there's old speed back. That helps our special teams.
Quick look at the stats. Georgia with 97 yards on 12 plays. Georgia Tech 18 yards on 11 plays.
Well, they made a first down that series.
Yeah, can't be having too much of that. Oop.
Zamir White to the right of Stetson Bennett. 1st and 10, 205.
Just a run.
And just kind of get out of the shadow of your goal line there.
There it is. Good job right there. Good job. Get up there and run it. Let's go.
I was hoping it was a run because that camera angle completely shut away the wide receivers. So we wouldn't have seen it if it was.
No idea who else has done it. Yeah.
144, 143, 142.
Erickson, McClendon, Van Pran. Tighter formations. It's where he likes to fake it and throw it.
Burton and Mitchell are the receivers, I believe. That's Mitchell.
Checking here.
No, he never changed his line at the line of scrimmage, coach.
Block it. Nice. Very good job there. We were going to the left. He came back to the trap. Watch this inside-out block here. Give us a replay. Watch the guy come across. Bowers right there, point of attack.
Bowers knocked that guy backwards. He still landed and made part of the tackle, but that was quite a hit by
him. It's
him.
a very good check.
Yeah. So
Balance front. Go to your tight end side.
7-yard run followed by an 8-yard run. See if he can do 9 yards.
The reason he does that quick deal there is for the defense to just tell you what they're in. They got some kind of blitz with number 2 here, and he's going to hit them big. Oh, my goodness, what a throw. God, I got to leave.
Good call, coach.
Big
I got to see Rosemary come back from the shadows. Great protection. Run through the ball, son. That's what Coach Monken keeps talking to him about. This could be that draw again.
Went back to the screen.
Nobody over there.
Todd Monken right now is going through the buffet line.
I'm going to have a little pile of this, a little pile of that. It's Thanksgiving all over again for him. This will be the last play of the first quarter.
At this point, we've run about 16 plays and hadn't run the same play twice. The only play we've run twice is that little kick out, but everything else has been just a lot of good stuff.
I hope fans understand the cohesion it takes for these plays. Back-to-back plays. You had Bowers coming on the block, but to do that, John Fitzpatrick set the edge on the inside. I mean, he got a great block off of that, and then Fitzpatrick helping out in pass protection the very next play to keep that pocket so clean.
Yeah, I like execution, the game plan. You know, you work on everything all week, and it takes 11 guys to make things happen, but it also whatever level you're on, you're coaching through your quarterback. You've got to be able to he's got to be able to understand what the coach is trying to get out of each play, and to get that done on the field is sometimes doesn't work, but you know because you got to either or type thing.
Right.
So I would say like 6 out of those 17 plays, we didn't run what was called. We went to what he was coached to get to, including, on that play right there, it was going downfield, and he went to his alternate guy in motion. Then why do you put a guy in motion? Let's go over that. First of all, most teams have 1 or 2 checks when there's no backs in the backfield. So you find out what their checks are, and you get to them, and you go over on the sideline and say, look, when we put Zamir or Cook in motion, they're going to this. And if we don't have what we got down the field, you got him outside because they're playing zone. Right. They weren't man then. Nobody ran with him, so it's zone. So you go for something big, but if it's not there, you come back to the left and hit him, which was excellent there. So
he was staying downfield.
One of the first times I ever saw people do that in regular formation, put a guy in motion to go to empty, which is no backs, was we were playing Brown as a pickup game. We couldn't find anybody, so we scheduled Brown from the Ivy League when I was at Marshall. And the first play of the game, they went from regular to empty. And I'm saying to our defensive coach, I said, they're trying to figure out whether you're in man or zone. And exactly that's what they were doing. But from that point on, a lot of people were doing that, but that was 1990, I think. But it's a lot of stuff back and forth that happened in the game. But I will say that in talking to Todd Monken like I do occasionally, it's hard to, they're always working, but we just talk ball. And his son is actually going to Oklahoma State and is one of the GAs, student assistants out there. Coach Monken coached with Coach Gundy out there, so they got a good relationship. He's a sophomore, and he actually signals the plays And that's going to be a big game for them tonight, the Monken family, you know, Oklahoma State versus OU. Just like for the Donnan family, it's going to be life or death out there. But I was saying, talking about these quarterbacks, because he's dealt with Jameis Winston and, you know, Baker Mayfield and all these guys coaching pro ball. And he talks about JT Daniels and Stetson Bennett. Both of them, he said one word when I asked him about them. He said, brilliant. He said both of them are really good students of the game, can handle volumes of stuff, and just a real pleasure to coach him. And of course, he enjoys Beck and Vandergrift too. But he, you know, when somebody like that says the guy's brilliant, I mean, that's pretty strong. I think
That is strong.
Stetson Bennett, first quarter, 7 of 8, 120 yards, a touchdown. The 7 completions, all to different receivers.
we got a chance to run Bowers on some kind of rocket here. I mean, the way they're lined up right now,
Yeah,
put him in motion and
nobody
rocket.
over there, group. There's a wow, he stopped. It's like just keep going.
That's gonna be
Get a little greedy there. 1st and 10, run it. But didn't take a loss, so 2nd and 9. Misdirection's what these guys are set up for. You know, when you have a good quarter, you got to be careful that you don't get too greedy here. I like to see Pickens in there.
Our Anthony Dassiter reporting Kearis Jackson is out with a rib injury.
With a what?
Rib injury.
Oh, boy, Dash.
There's
Catch,
Big O.
Darnell.
How about that catch radius?
Look at the size of number 3 compared to him.
Well, that's just a flip there, wasn't it? There's a good RPO. Our guy's hardest thing, you know what it is? Who's going to be in the game?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
Look at them after every play. What's the next group? 11, 12, 10, 14. We don't have a 14. I want to run Cook into the boundary here or to the field, to the right. Run him to the block.
McConkey.
Brock Bowers, you are my hero. What a shot.
That's a hell of a
There's
block.
the RPO. There's 2 straight RPOs. You know, he had the sweep and he just threw the flare. McConkey, I mean, good job, McConkey. Look at Bowers out here. Like my hero. You know, these kids love to block for each other, but I mean,
yeah. Oof.
Look at 81.
Hey, I say Marcus Rosemary-Jack Saint down there taking the safety on, keeping him from coming up and making the stop.
Give him another touchdown. He touched the pylon. That's ACC rep. Anybody from the ACC ought to be able to call that. You're supposed to be smarter than SEC. Got these. Right there's where we hit a 2-point play against Tech, and the guy said he wasn't in.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. And I told him, I said, you better not miss that next call. And he didn't. He called holding on Tech, and with next play, we threw the ball for a touchdown.
So you're working the refs.
You got to work them.
Oh, absolutely.
I told him, I said, I'm not going to embarrass you here on national television and let Brent Mushburger see me over here chewing your ass. But I'm telling you, if you miss another one, I'm going to turn you into Roy. I mean, what else do you need here? Send it over to the Greensboro. That's where they look at them, man, at Greensboro, North Carolina.
I need to go up there and hit that barbecue joint again.
Yeah, go hit the Stamey's and bring me some back.
We'll make a Smoking Bandit style run up there. Come back with a cooler full.
I'm telling you now, this is a well-oiled machine right now. I mean, the only thing we didn't do is score the first time. We got a field goal, but
touchdown stands.
Rosemary's happy for him.
Yeah.
Got the block. Burton.
Jermaine Burton. I mean, that's, again, I don't want to sound cliche.
That's our third team guy that's played all year is now first. You know, it was first team, and he's quick as a hiccup. He's quick.
Well, that's why they had him back there catching punts too. But when you see those guys pat each other on the back, everyone thinks, you know, that's nice. But there is a legitimate brotherhood with this team, and you hear about every team's supposed to have that. But you have cliques on football teams. You have groups. You have guys who are a little more concerned about their stats than anybody else's. And I'm not saying this with Georgia. I'm saying this in all of football. But when these guys have these skull sessions, you know, in the off season where they sit down and tell each other else, you know, their why, their backstory, you know, and they made themselves vulnerable. They talked about the stuff that's going on in their lives. It really drew these players together. You know, they spent so much time. I go back to last year when you had you couldn't get everybody in the same film session because of COVID regulations. So even when you're doing a film breakdown, you had certain offensive linemen in there watching, and the other guys had to watch on, you know, in the room. Other guys had to like watch it on Zoom. That camaraderie, the teasing, the hanging out together, you know, going to get eaten together, stuff like that. It did not happen as much last year because of the COVID stuff.
Well, that's a good point. And the thing that's very salient about that is if you just think about it, you didn't have spring practice to do that.
Right.
And then your younger guys had never even been around the players in any kind of situation except when they actually practiced. You know what I mean? They couldn't do anything with each other, like even have a team deal where you know where you all get in there and imitate the coaches and have a talent show and all that stuff that you just take for granted that builds team building. Nobody in America had that. And you can talk about teams all you want to. It's a little easier when you got a basketball team or a tennis team with 10 guys, but you got 85 in there. Each one's got a different role. And, you know, it's just last year was really an anomaly. I think it's great the way Kirby worked with. We actually brought in a psychiatrist that's done a really good job of talking to the kids because, you know, you can't go home. You know, there's a lot of different things involved. I mean, last year you couldn't leave. You know, you couldn't even leave where you stayed. You know, once you out on the campus or out at night or anything. So just an unreal college life compared to what it is this year. And the other thing that's good that has been proven is the next man up. Because this, I think you've mentioned it so many times, how many guys have been hurt, but Kirby sells that if you come here and you work and you do our culture and you believe in our weight program and you do what we're supposed to, you're going to get a chance. So I don't know when it's going to be, but Brainy, it's your 4th, 5th year and you're now the star. You're the safety that's playing for the University of Georgia. Amir Speed. I mean, you've been waiting. You've been behind Stokes and Campbell and all those guys. You got a shot now. You're playing. You're on special teams.
Robert Beal.
This is your 5th year. You've come back.
Chris Smith.
I mean, one after another. And then this year, a guy like McConkey, I mean, nobody even knew his number. And he comes in there against Vanderbilt and scores 2 touchdowns. Now he's got one today. And I want to get you some yellow and black jumpsuit like that, Roddy. You'd look good. You'd be the hot rod.
Kicks away. Give me another touchback.
Oh, there's what I like to. This is a great example of look how they've got 2 guys out there. So the most dangerous threat's that free safety, and he's got to get over and make the tackle because those 2 guys are going to be blocked. He can't get there. He takes a bad angle. Hey, that's a great read by Stetson.
We're going to Stetson down there. As far as he knew it was a touchdown right off the bat. Dave McMahon says that's 9 receptions to 9 different players.
Oh, we're just trying to spread it out. Is Dave doing the game down at Alabama today?
He's doing the Iron Bowl.
Uh-oh. We're threatening it. Free safety blitz. This is ugly right here.
There's a hold.
2 holds.
Yeah, and a sack.
I mean, that's not fair, really. Of course, I don't feel sorry for those turds.
I know, Decline the penalty and move on to the next one.
Lump Dog
Yeah,
says, Coach, if Stetson plays this way next weekend, I'll need you to bail me out of prison for running naked down Broadway.
Go ahead. You can do it. I'll bail you. There's his grandfather with him. That's good. Did he have on a Tech hat?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's
Or
not
no,
good.
Tennessee.
It's Tennessee.
Looks like the Power Two.
Might be Tulsa. Might be Titans.
He went to North Murray. Is that right? McConkey?
I don't know. That's why I have my cheat sheet.
Let's see if I'm right.
Draw.
2nd and 24, 1303.
North Murray
13-2.
High School in Chatsworth.
He broke
my
it.
Goodness.
Great run.
That was a fantastic run.
Hey, yeah, you did a great job, buddy. Pound your chest. What's the score? We slanted right into it, and they blocked us. You got to come up and tackle, Keeley. You can't stand back there like you're in Arizona. That's a big pickup right there.
Yeah. Drops it, makes it to 3rd and 8. Big chunk of that picked up there.
12-29.
16 yards.
12-27, 12-26, 12-25, second quarter.
You know, they're going to get a tip pass or something. They're going to get something happen to them good. I don't know what, but low snap helps you a little bit. God, you make the tackle. Good job there, Bill. No, that was
I see William Poole in there. Trayvon Walker runs him down.
William Poole playing some.
Yep.
We played man under, and
yeah, that was William Poole with the tackle there. Squared up to him and dropped him.
I tell you what, look at Trayvon Walker run.
Yeah.
Now, if they make an adjustment here and go to his left foot, we don't have the rush on.
Shout out to Hateville Charter for
we got the rush, the punt return here.
Right.
It's hard to catch that one. That's okay. That's a good decision there, lad.
Yeah. Shout out to Hateville Charter for providing
Will
William
Wells.
Poole and Chris Smith. So that's pretty good. I do want to give a shout out to our friends over at Athens Ford. Over about 250 vehicles on the lot. A lot of the lots in Athens and around the country are low on vehicles, but Athens Ford has a ton of them. And right now you can get a 2021 Ford Explorer. Again, Ford Explorer, the best selling SUV in the nation, for 0% financing for 60 months for qualified buyers. You can get or up to $2,000 off on MSRP. You get $1,500 in trade assist and a $500 Ford discount. So basically two grand off with the 1,505 combined. If you want a Ford Mustang, the 2021, also 0% financing for 60 months for qualified buyers. 2021 Ford F-150. I've driven an F-150 many, many times. Fantastic truck, best-selling truck in America. There's a reason the F-150 is beloved by America. Again, 0% financing for qualified buyers for 60 months. And if you want that giant Ford Expedition, I wish I could get one of those for my boy and all his buddies.
The XLT?
The XLT, the Expedition XLT, that is a fantastic one as well. 0% financing for 60 months. And of course, if you don't need a new vehicle, but you need service on yours, you need the oil change, you want new brakes, new tires, new anything, or you want to customize it. You know, you got a nice vehicle, you want to go out there and check it out. Get it tricked out or something like that. Swing by Athens Ford. The service bay there is fantastic. So you just drive right through. It's really easy. Tell them what you want done. You can set it up online. You can actually schedule your thing online, so you don't have to call them up. Hey, what's good for you? They have a calendar. You just pop your name into it and come by. And then their waiting area is immaculate. It feels like a Four Seasons lobby there. It's great Wi-Fi, great snacks, great free drinks. You'll love getting your service done there. I actually get a lot of work done. I've done a lot of UGASports work sitting in the service bay there, getting oil change or getting something done.
Or doing that payroll.
They're doing that payroll. But so shout out to Athens Ford for setting that up for us. And I can tell you right now that the folks there they're helping folks. They're helping people who are on the lot looking around, but they got one eye. They're looking back inside the building. They're watching this game because they are huge huge Georgia fans. And Brian Clower is the biggest one. Also, he's got his Bronco, and they're tricking out the Bronco they have in the shop there. So you need to go check out that new Bronco when you get a chance. All right. So where are we at on the clock there?
We'll see when they bring it back here to make sure we're telling people correctly.
And please, folks, if you would share this, it means a lot to us when you do that. It really helps.
Yeah. How do we get them to get to 2,000 today? What do we got to do?
They just need to go to our YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube, just click our page and hit subscribe. And then you become a subscriber to the channel, and you can set up your notifications.
See if you can get 10, each person on there, get 10 people, call them up and tell them subscribe today. Just see if they'll do it. Just cut it on. And, hey, you're going to get a lot of stuff here from the Georgia Bulldogs. Like this kind of stuff here is the kind of way we do some kind of play action. But I like to see us run the outside zone, but that's play action.
Play action.
Incomplete pass to A.D. Mitchell. 11-16 left in the second. Coach, on that kind of play action, it's a really deep drop back. What's the reasoning for that?
Just to see the field and get your feet set. And, you got to let things develop. You know what I mean? That was a deep crossing right. He was the third receiver there. We had a level there where a guy was running a post, another guy was running what we call a deep cross, and then he was running a shallow cross. Please run Bowers on something there.
2nd and 10, 11-16. We're in the second quarter.
Well, there's Bowers, Coach.
Get some speed, you jerk! Holy moly!
Please run Bowers on something. Touchdown.
I tell you what,
You've seen this game before.
Stetson now is on fire.
This game's been played. You're from the future. You've watched it. This is a Back to the Future type deal because you've seen.
I went out and saw this Indian guy out there and talked to him about I'm losing my powers, and we went in there and he was talking to me and we got in the TP and he said, "Say hey, hi, hey, say hey, if he ate him bottom, if he ate him bottom, if he ate him bottom." And then I said, "Yeah, I want to find out what's going to happen when they got Bowers on the wing and the sideline." He said, "You got it, man." I got some good friends out there in the Cherokee Nation there. They got to look at this little short post here by my man. And the thing that's unbelievable that he just runs right through this. Good block by McConkey.
6 different people there. They could have tackled.
I mean, that's 2 times this year he's gone over 75 yards. And that's a tight end that people don't have even for the Mackey Award.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. But I'm just got to go call old Joe, the Indian out there, and tell him I appreciate that.
You know what made that play even dirtier is that you had Darnell Washington running an inside slant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just the option of those two guys.
What is Stetson right now? He missed one there, so he's missed 2.
He's missed 2. He's 10 of 12 for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns.
You got to pull him.
Yeah.
Pull him. Keep him. Put JT in there. Put JT in there and get him to keep rocking. We hadn't even used Pickens yet.
I think he's played 2 plays.
I saw one. That's the one I remember.
I think on that sack, the first play of the second quarter, I think he ran a route.
I got you.
Chuck Ward's out there in charge of subscriptions. Chuck's going over to Walmart out there in Texas and going to talk to some people in the Walmart greeter. When they walk in, they're going to give them, "Hey, subscribe to the UGA channel."
Brent King's probably doing the same thing over on campus. When those kids come back, he's like, "Hey, yeah, you're going to have to click this button here."
Hey, seriously, what's wrong with the running game today?
They just can't block, Coach.
God knows.
Why hasn't the defense scored yet?
Yeah. They made a first down. Fire them. I won. The thing that's going to hurt today, though, is we're going to play some guys, and they're going to get Tech's going to get some delusions of grandeur. But you got to keep them healthy for next week.
Yeah, pull all the starters.
I reminded Kirby one day when we were playing somebody we were supposed to beat. He used to ask. We used to talk when he was over at Alabama. He said, "I can't get Nick to pull the first team out. He's always worried about them coming back and all." I said, "I'm worried about him getting hurt." I said, "Well, just tell him you got to play next week and all that." So now he's over here. I can't get Kirby to pull the first team. I said, "You remember when you told me about Nick?" He said, "Yeah, it's different when you're the coach."
But Coach, Brock Bowers should not be able to score from 75 yards out as a tight end.
The guy's got some wheels now. Look at his knee pads. Those are really good. Look at those two guys there. They're not breaking the rules. I'm on the knees today. Hey, that's the best signal they got today. Let it go.
Yeah, just let it go.
So here's Dan Olas. He's going to tell you after it happened that Brock Bowers ran a post. You know, they really got it covered pretty good. They just don't break on the ball.
I mean, he's out running. They're not closing the gap. This is my impression. You got skill guys in the defense who should have been getting closer to your tight end.
You know what the least played song in America today is?
No, sir.
I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
They're not playing that a whole lot.
Mash. That's their best play. Broken play. Missed tackle.
Dan Jackson.
Dan's getting nasty.
We're just not breaking down over there.
We have a super chat from John Wittenberg. Says, "God bless Coach Donnan. What a treasure." Said old Joe deserves a share. LOL. Go Dogs.
Old Joe. Get Joe.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, sir.
We had several seances out there when I was coaching at OU. Those guys, we had one guy that was kind of a witch doctor that came over, and those kids thought he could help them. And our trainer didn't like him, but he would come over and rub their shoulders and stuff with his magic Indian potion.
Hey, get that guy down here for George Pickens.
10-15, 10-14, second quarter.
Another first down.
I thought his knee may have gone down there, but I guess he kept himself up.
The thing that helps them right there, which I think is smart, they're running these read plays, which against our team are good things to do because you don't have to block people as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That guy's menu for his game plan. You need to go over to Waffle House and switch it. We're not giving the ball to Gibbs any.
9:30, 9:29.
He tried to run over Tramel Walter. Tramel's like, "That's fine. I'm going to tackle you, though."
Here's that stemming.
Can't cut these guys off on the backside very well.
No.
Nine minutes left in the second quarter.
Coach Lanning. Tackle her ass. That's the signal. Stick them. They definitely don't want to pass against us because they can't protect.
No. Look at that big boy front coming. Oh, wow.
Another read.
That was a man run right there.
Yeah. I can see their quarterback here hurting us a little bit because we're not playing the quarterback at all.
So who's supposed to be watching him right now?
Kirby. Saying, hey, if he runs, let him run. I mean, just make the tackle.
In the second quarter, Michigan 7, Ohio State 3.
Boy, Jim Harbaugh got to coach him up today.
Harbaugh's not even wearing his khakis today. He got some corduroys on, a little colder up there.
3rd and 2 for the Yellow Jackets.
They brought Nolan Smith. But,
First down.
Every play so far has been to the left. Amazing.
Couple first downs.
Two first downs in a row plus 6 minutes of.
Yep.
Roddy, how often do you think the name Dan Lanning is coming out of Jimmy Sexton's mouth these days?
About every 90 seconds.
A lot of these people are looking at head coaches, though. They're not looking at assistants on these.
Hey, it worked out well for Georgia when
I'm
Georgia
just
hired
telling
an
you,
assistant.
did for Oklahoma and Barry Switzer and Tom Osborne and Joe Paterno. All of them are assistant coaches.
Jim Donnan.
Yeah. Screen. They got it.
Yeah, they did. He hit it.
Good call, coach.
3rd first down. They brought everybody. I mean, it's great call there.
Nice march here by the Yellow Jackets.
Mm-hmm. Picked up 12 yards.
I made too much fun of them playing that song. Gonna give them a chance to play it.
I hadn't seen the car out there yet.
They're not sure which way to.
They brought out at the beginning.
I did it. I just didn't see it.
You were probably working.
Usually photographers have a shot of Ugga in the foreground and the Ramblin' Rat car in the background, something like that.
Some kind of double pass there, fake one way and then throw it. You got to throw it in the air, son. It's hard to get there.
Well, you're supposed to catch it. Catch the ball.
No, but you see how much he didn't even get.
No, it was not there. It was at his feet.
He looks over the sideline, and when he shakes his head to the sideline, you know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to throw a pass. You want to come back here and try to
Okay. These guys are coming.
keep running it.
6:21 left in the second quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets.
He's
41
going to
yards.
run over there to the left. He's going to hand it to him to the left.
Got numbers.
Handed it to him to the left.
Oh, my goodness. Lewis Seen with a hit, quite the hit there.
All right. That's 3rd down. I wouldn't do a whole lot of pressure here because they're going to try to throw a dump over the middle.
Richard Allen says turnover time.
Look at our knees.
You're on the knees today, man.
Our team trained in Bermuda.
Yeah.
The Bermuda shorts.
3rd and 6. There's 5:38, 5:37, 5:36 on the game clock, second quarter.
We're bunched up on the field
Running
side.
again.
Yeah.
You know what's happening is we're just such a field conscious team that they're working the boundary on us.
Yeah.
I mean, they know that.
We had,
That's a terrible spot, you chicken. That is so terrible.
what?
Hey, challenge that. That is terrible spot.
That was garbage.
I mean, that's like 7 runs to the left out of the last.
Georgia had 5 guys to the field side from the line, from where the ball was, and they ran it to the boundary where there's only 3.
You got him this time.
Yep.
That's way, big boy.
They saw it, made the adjustment, coach. And here comes Devontae White.
If I'm Tech right now, I fake that and bootleg to the field and try to hit that slot. Fake it, come back around here and hit it. Based on what you just saw.
Yeah. It's like being tackled by a bear.
Tech fan. You made me come today and I could have gone to get a movie and seen James Bond.
4:19, 4:18, 4:17.
They're trying to get an extra blocker on that same side, coach.
Ooh,
Oh
shit.
my word.
Jalen.
Carter.
Unreal play.
They got a chance.
Whoa.
Just come on in there, Carter.
This is just a damn man.
How about that swim over him?
Yeah.
The guy's trying to cut him, and he used a swim move.
I mean, we talk about how strong he is, but that speed on that, the guy just whiffs on it. Couldn't get a
Quick.
hand on it.
Well, you think you're cutting him off, and then he goes over the top. Not many guys can do that at 290. They're playing for a field goal here if they can make 5 yards. Spread him out. Good coverage.
Trayvon Walker was running him down from the backside. You could hear those feet, those size 14s. Ka-thud, 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 ka-thud.
Surely they're not going to try a field goal here.
Eli Drinkwitz would.
I saw Eli yesterday. He was still trying them.
That's true. And, shout out to our buddy Sam Pittman for his win yesterday.
Yeah, they're going to lefty punt here. Watch the fake.
All right, let's see if special teams return.
You know that song, Eli's coming, and I want to go home. It's, Eli's kicking a field goal, and I want to go home. We're in a safe punt here.
Yeah.
Oh, we almost got it. Catch it. Good job. He's out. He's in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's an ACC referee. Give me this signal here. Or give it to us on the inch so we can go 99. That's terrible. And these guys here, the commissioner must be at the game.
Oh, he stepped on it.
This guy here's calling it out.
Yeah.
The one on this side, teammates.
They're both there on the goal line, and one gets it right, one gets it wrong. Fun stuff.
Reminder of Stetson Bennett's stat line so far: 10 of 12, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns.
See, now what'll happen is they won't use him the rest of the game, and then people say, "Well, they only threw it 12 times because weak arm."
You're wasting your breath.
Georgia total yards 261. Georgia Tech 61. Georgia 12 first downs. Georgia Tech 5.
First play here is going to be, he's going to look like he's going to throw it and then hand it to him on a draw play.
Georgia has 21 total plays, only one of them on third down.
They don't work on their third down conversion.
Georgia has 0% third down conversion rate because they're 0 for 1. Tech is 2 out of 7.
We didn't punt, though, yet, do we?
No.
Ohio State, 10-7 now.
Nolan Smith did get back in the game. He left earlier, kind of holding that elbow. I think it might have been, you get kind of worried, but could have just been the brace was bugging him. But he actually got back into the game. So,
you think the brace is bugging him?
Sure. Imagine how tight they got that thing wound down.
Yeah, but you got to brace that sucker. We're playing Alabama next week.
Yeah,
Alabama's still got Iron Bowl before that. You don't overlook rivalry games. It may end up being like this one, but
anybody that watches the Alabama-Auburn game, my prediction, okay?
Okay.
And I talked to the Indian about it too.
Okay.
Because I said I want Alabama to be really cocky going. They're going to come out there and run some plays against Auburn, because Auburn takes their time getting their signals in and everything, and we did a little bit. I look for them to come out there and run some of that Apache stuff. I mean, get after their ass fast, because they've been running the clock down, and I think they'll get Mason off kilter because they got hurt last against a lot of teams. But I look for Alabama and run a lot of tempo on them today.
South Carolina did it some against Auburn.
Right. And, South Carolina, unbelievable year for them. I mean, out-of-body experience. If you'd have told me let's say, if you'd have told the Indian back in June that Florida would lose 6 conference games, and that Tennessee would win 7, and that South Carolina would win 6, He would have cut his TP on fire.
Yeah,
Midway through the second quarter, Florida State and Florida tied at 7.
Come on, Booger. One of the hardest guys I ever had to block. I didn't block him, but my team.
I was about to say.
I just said bite him in the underneath the pants, and hope you can get him bad. Set up for the God. This is so good here. He's going to look like he's going to pass. And
Ball is on the 20.
Cook on the draw. Oh, he's checking out.
Checking out.
Not going to be that now.
Yeah. Change to the line.
Little quick pitch. No.
Oh, that was so close.
That was.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm going to give Cedric Van Pran credit there.
Schaefer ain't picking one of their guys. Look how many guys we're bringing in the game here. We're getting conditioning here running to the sideline.
The way Cedric blocked that one, if Justin Schaefer picks his guy just a hair, that's to the house.
Orlowski saying if you pressure Bennett.
This is a wristband play.
Not much there.
There was not much.
It's going to be 3rd and 4.
For some reason, we're not in any hurry here. I don't know. Something about Grant Field. Kirby didn't like that 2-minute offense. He didn't do it with Fromm either. Set up for the quick pitch. Just toss it one time, Kurt. Stetson, quick pitch. You know what that is, Roddy?
I do know that is.
Just toss it right over there. You're going to throw it.
Tip up the line. Incomplete. I thought he might go back to that draw once I saw Cook flee from the backfield.
He wanted Jermaine Burton.
It was a terrible series here. Very good job by their lineman there. That's what you're taught to do. If you don't get any rush, to stand on the line.
That's what Robert Beal did earlier in the game.
That was a terrible series right there by us.
Yeah. Run, pass.
We're just sitting on it. We don't have Jamari back there to help us.
Georgia's first punt of the day in the air, and it's a good one.
Going and roll.
Oh, went the wrong way.
The way the camera was going, I thought it was better than it was.
About a 40-yard punt.
1:33 left in the half. Coach, you had mentioned South Carolina having a good year. Roddy, you mentioned Arkansas. I had not realized that Ole Miss had never had 10 regular season wins until this year.
Yeah.
That was news to me, and a really good season for Ole Miss, and makes me wonder how the heck they lost to Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bad loss. Auburn's looking at 6-6, and Coach wishes he's vaccinated. He could get the job at Washington.
That was only a 32-yard punt, Coach.
That's pathetic punt.
Yeah. Well, get that out of your system before next week.
Jake's going to show you what they're made of here. They're not going to throw it. They're going to run it into the boundary.
Yep.
All these runs are going to come toward us now. They're on this hash mark.
Yeah.
He's telling them to go fast. Waffle House, Waffle House.
Reminder that we will be taking a halftime break. We'll have the stat sheet up for you, but we'll get you resynced up for the third quarter. 2nd and 7, minute 9 left.
We're playing press coverage down here.
He's going to throw it.
Pick.
Oh, yeah, I was with you there. We see a quarterback going down and flinging the ball like that. You're just expecting an interception.
If we could get this and make them punt, we could maybe try 2-minute offense. Is that Walker?
Hey, I saw a 10-second offense, and let's just throw it to Bowers. I'd say Nolan Smith's doing pretty well.
I didn't expect him to play today. I'm glad he's in there. He's looking great.
Coming over here again with the run.
Yeah, running to the right, just like you said. Right.
Time out, Kirby. Time out. We called it.
Yep, clock stopped.
That's the boy, Kirby. Way to listen.
They might have taken your cue, Coach. They might have heard you taking the time out there.
Yeah. I want to see his rock. Michigan 10-7.
See a couple of those.
That Mississippi State game at the end of the half dropped those 3 balls. Watch that game tonight. Sooner Magic. You watch them. They've been talking to the Indians all week. They got a good plan.
Oklahoma State's favored in that game.
Yeah, favored, but they hadn't won, but since 1918, they've only won 18 games against. It's like Switzer used to say, you could go to the moon and come back 50 years from now and still be the same. We kicked their ass.
Text my
no
team
fake, no fake.
Oof. That's a good punt.
That hurts us.
Oh, all right.
All right.
45
Try
seconds.
it, Kirby. Don't fall on the ball.
Run that same play to Bowers and let him go run 70 yards.
No. We got a lot of people talking over there. Kirby saying, just don't throw it over the middle. Screen drawer delay, first play in your we're going to miss the play while they're recognizing.
Yeah. Hey, Dan's got to tell us what he knows.
He knows how to run out of the back of the end zone.
Oh. It's cold.
He owns it, though. I think his Twitter account says that he's a proponent of end zones being 12 yards deep. 45 seconds. Georgia on the field.
Why wouldn't you put George in for that? We're not as good a passing team when the other team knows we're throwing it, just like most teams, because they're on their heels. But right here, just get a first down, then get rolling fast.
Yeah.
Could run that little slip draw.
Hand it to James Cook here.
There it is.
All right. Hand it to James
Come on,
Cook.
James.
Oh.
Time out.
Give him a little Broderick push there.
What do you think? He'd call timeout or not? I would say he didn't.
I don't think he did.
I think.
Yep, 24 points.
Yeah.
Well, another unscored half for Georgia's opponent. Took a shot.
Throw it way down there to Blaylock.
I don't understand that one.
I don't.
Not calling timeout, but that's okay.
All right, so we've reached halftime. Georgia with a 24-0 lead against
He's going to
Georgia
chew
Tech.
him out here. All right, we're going to take a break here. A good half. That was good playing. We get the ball first to start the second half.
Total yards, Georgia has 272. Georgia Tech has 67 yards. Passing yards, Stetson Bennett is 10 of 15 for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns. So sitting about a 67% completion rate. That last series kind of gave him 0 for 2 there with some odd routes, and
Right.
I don't get that. But
Last two series.
yeah, last two have been confusing. I mean, he had brilliant play calling on the first 3 series, and then those last two have just been really. Again, I'm sure they're doing something that
I'm not going to be critical
I'm just
of
saying
that.
I don't see the bigger
Larry
picture.
Munson down here.
I'm just saying I don't see what I'm sure that there's something involved, something they're trying to do.
Sure.
I just don't know what it is. So I will just say, look, I don't know what the hell they're doing. But I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's not obvious to me. Sometimes when you see him pounding it in the middle, you're like, why are you doing that? Well, they're setting something up. And then all of a sudden, hey, look, play action for 60-yard touchdown.
That's when I say scoreboard.
Yeah. So anyway, so far, the only person that seemed to be banged up a little bit is Kyrus Jackson, which is exactly what you wanted to avoid. But it's almost impossible to come out of this game without any injuries. Hopefully, he'll be fine for next week.
I expect that after those couple series, Stetson Bennett will play at least the first half of the third quarter.
He'll get the first series, and then
for sure. If they go down and score an easy touchdown, maybe they go to the second team guys.
Yep.
All right, so take a break time. Thank you to Bud Light Seltzer, to Athens Ford. Could not do the show without you. So if you're watching us, you need to do 3 things. 1, you need to go get you some Bud Light Seltzer for the second half. And then for the post-game overreaction show that's on this channel. 2, you need to go out, tell our friends over at Athens Ford that you heard about them on the UGA Sports Watch-Along show with Jim Donnan, and just check out the deals that they have and talk to them about your car situation. They'll help you out. And then the 3rd thing, make sure I work in broadcasting. Make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. So back up to our page, hit subscribe. You can set up your notifications there so that whenever we go live with any of our content, you can see it on your phone first. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for the second half to get you synced up. This is the UGA Sports Watch Along show with Jim Donnan.
Hey, look, we're back up.
We are back here on the UGA Sports Watch Along Show. That's Jim Donnan. He's the former Georgia head coach and the College Football Hall of Famer. This is Radi Nabulsi. He's the publisher of UGAsports.com. And I'm Dayne Young, and they let me sit here. So
yeah, nothing cool after your name. I'm Dayne Young.
We're your second screen experience for the Georgia Bulldogs. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. So what we have is you watch Georgia on your main screen, and you have us on your second screen, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and you can get our commentary. We know more about the team than these announcers that parachute in here, for 1 week at a time. And Jim Donnan's a college football Hall of Famer, savant. He's been calling plays before they happen, so that's why you watch us. Coach, 24-0, Georgia over Tech in that first half.
Yeah, you have a tendency to talk about what we didn't do more than what we did, but go against a lesser opponent and go out there without any penalties or turnovers or just bad-looking plays, pretty good efficiency. The last two series, though, 3 and out, didn't cut it from a standpoint of having a chance to really cement the game and put more people in. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen. Start the second half. We get the ball first, but defensively, we're playing to not give up anything big. So we're playing a little soft on the edges there because that's the only way they can hurt you is a big play. So they're just being very patient and running the ball to the nub side of our defense. What that means is, our defense is overshifted. And we'll slant back and do some stuff, but we protect the field and we count on the people in the boundary to be able to defeat blocks and get off blocks and make tackles. But you've seen throughout the game, their whole game plan, if they're on the left hash, they're going to run the ball to the left. If they're on the right hash, they're going to run it to the right. I mean, it's like 100% so far. So I can see us starting to maybe slant a little bit to stop them. I think, would they get 5 or 6 first downs? And most of them were on the one series. They had one series where they got 1, they got 4. But overall, very efficient half. Good job in the kicking game. And, you're up 24-0. I mean, you could find a lot of things wrong with everything, but a lot more right. I thought our passing game was sharp. Running game, we really haven't focused on it much. I would say we're 2-1 passes to run so far, but if we want to get more yardage here, big plays, I think we need to hit more of these bubble screens, get the ball to the outside of this Tech defense. I just don't think they can tackle us in space. So we'll see some of that here in the second half. But warning is that this could be ugly here. We could get, one more touchdown and then play a lot of second and third team players, and Tech will probably do some stuff and we'll make some bonehead plays. But
we just want to get out of here now.
Yeah, I mean, right now you plan for the SEC championship. You're playing for number 1 seed next week. Our guy in this game, we're watching for the onside kicker. Look at us. They think they might onside kick. Look at all our guys right there. Great job by us. Just let it go out. That was a great job of coaching by Kirby Smart. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Well, I knew
you had 10 guys on the line.
You would have told them that, but I mean, I
can never get a word in, so
I'm sorry. I was doing my opening.
You were doing your opening. Look, they're not tuning in to hear me, Coach.
I know,
and I probably wouldn't have noticed that they were all on the line at all.
But that's good coaching.
Yeah.
One of the people tuning in, Good Guy Ty, says, I'm watching from Camp Geiger, North Carolina, United States Marine Corps.
Good. Is that near Fayetteville?
Let us know if that's near Fayetteville. I can check that out myself too.
Camp Lejeune.
Thanks for watching, and thanks for your service.
Appreciate it. One of our sponsors was in the Marines. Leon Farmer was in the Marines. Was at Paris Island. He probably knows you. We got the wing here. Toss it.
Yep.
Nice run.
Pickens.
Who is that guy? Way to recognize him.
Camp Geiger is in Jacksonville.
Kirby said, get your ass off the field.
It's in Jacksonville, North Carolina, which is
first catch. Jacksonville right there with Camp Lejeune. They might have changed the name of it. Appreciate him watching. Fayetteville Bulldogs. We used to play them when I was at Burlington.
We got a question from Johnny Ballgame. I'll ask you during the time or during the break.
There it is, right there.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Kentucky.
They can't play that play right now. They're so ganged up on the run. Good checkoff, Kurt. Excuse me, Stetson.
Yeah, running right.
What's the question?
We'll hit it in the break.
All right. Nice job there. Coach Dale McGee over there on the sideline running those backs in and out. He'd like to see a little more running game, I'm sure. But
He's like, can we use my guys? Or heck, just throw to them. Let's see Kenny Mack catch a few passes.
set up to go up top here with the fake to the left.
You'll run it. They're going to run it. Oh, he's
still set up. But I like that power run there.
Yeah.
Lump Dog, thanks for the reminder. We'll sync you up right now. Get your phone and tablet ready as we're looking at the game clock on our screen. 13-16, 13-15, 13-14. It's 2nd and 3.
13-11, 13-10, 13-09, 13-08 for folks.
Notice how deep Tech's playing. I mean, they're playing for play action pass. Now they're coming up, stop the run.
What a good run. Coach, I've seen him be a more patient runner in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he's got good vision. He's so fast that sometimes he outruns his block. So he's setting up, a guy's trying to seal it. He goes out there too quickly and he takes away the cutback. But right there, very patient. It was an inside run. He broke it outside against the safety blitz. And probably putting Kenny Mack in now.
They tried to tackle him by his hair, Coach. Guy was pulling on it.
You know what he says? Hair today, lair tomorrow. Oh, fake it and throw it. You got to beat the guy on the line if you want him to throw it to you.
They keep trying to make that A.D. Mitchell thing happen, and it's
he didn't beat the guy.
Yeah,
and it was not a real good pass either. But you got to beat him on the line. If he gets a piece of it, you're not going to throw the fade. That's what you hate about a first down pass after you make a first down is, you're behind the sticks here, but we still got the bubble out there.
12-19. Snap.
It's a way to make them miss you.
Oh. $12:03, $12:02, $12:01, 12 minutes, 11:59, 11:58, 11:57, 11:56.
Run the ball here 2 times.
3rd and 3. Yep. Bring in Zamir.
Get that 13. Power game.
11:43, 11:42, 11:41, 11:40.
We really aren't set up to run.
No, they're not.
They got bare defense here. You can hit the slot.
I was about to say the guy in the slot. The guy's playing far off. Stetson's looking at him.
I tell you what, you can't go deep on 4th and unless they call penalty here.
PI would be the ultimate equalizer. Indeed, it is.
That would explain why.
I like the call there by Munkin because the guy's thinking you're going to go short, and the guy grabs him. Got his arm dancing with the stars. All right, let's go to town here. About time for Brock Bowers on a little end around.
I'd go back to Darnell Washington across the middle.
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want to.
I would call that every play, though, Coach. So that's the difference.
Look at that formation, Coach.
Should be a touchdown.
I was about to say they loaded up, power left. They had everybody in the band over there on the left side.
Darnell whiffed on a block, though.
Yeah.
Cook's going with the high tops today. What's the deal? Show his knees off? Do a survey here. If you see anybody's knees covered today, we'll give you some Bud Light seltzer.
There.
Get your helmet on there, buddy.
10:49,
Power run with Cook here.
Oh, you're calling plays now.
I'm just saying the way they're lined up.
Late hit, man. Don't stand over him like he did anything. All he did is lay on him.
Yeah.
Look at those high tops.
I like it.
Bowers didn't get around Schaefer. Hardest first down touchdown in football. Ball's on the 9. It's a nice march here. 5 minutes. Defense loves it. Going into the darkness. Probably running off left tackle.
This is back-to-back weeks was really tough.
Going to Brock Bowers. Oh, my what a circus touchdown. Wow.
Even Orlowski saw that. Both of you. You got one-on-one fade.
Yeah.
It's a perfect throw.
Look at that. Oh, I love it. Little spinning, what's that, pirouette? I don't know all the ballet things.
Yeah.
Love it, though.
Great march.
That may be Stetson's last throw today.
4 touchdowns for Stetson Bennett today. Some good runs on that play, on that drive.
The guy's not even up for the Mackey Award. Now he's got 10 touchdowns on the year. The other 3 don't have 10 combined that are up for it. The guy from Iowa State might have.
Roddy, did you want to go back up and ask that question that you?
Yeah, our buddy Johnny Ballgame says, Coach.
Johnny who?
Johnny Ballgame.
Is he any kin to? Oh, go ahead. Does he know the Indian? Go ahead.
Say he wants to know, should Georgia continue to keep playing Georgia Tech? Doesn't seem to be.
I think you got to
get a lot out of it. You know,
keep your rivalry games. I mean, it just means so much to people, and it'd be hard to stop playing. I know in Oklahoma they're moving to SEC, and there's some people out there saying that Oklahoma State's not going to play them anymore, but they'd be crazy not to because it's the only time they sell out the stadium.
Well, to me, I like the idea. Okay, they're not a high competition team. Well, they're close enough that you can go down and take over their stadium and watch your team play. You know, they're still a Power 5 team, so you get you get credit for beating a Power 5 team instead of a G5 or FCS or whatever. You know,
so it's just you know, they got to
try. It's a good scrimmage.
They got to find some way to get some players.
Well, the ACC's in a world of hurt in some ways, just with.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Wake Forest wins today, which they were leading Boston College, so it'd be Wake Forest playing Pittsburgh and Charlotte next week.
Kyle Frank says play Tech every year.
Probably be about 20,000 people there. Pitt's got a good team. I mean, a good quarterback.
I would be happy for Jeff Collins to be successful somewhere else.
A lot of history in the game, you know.
There's history, but I have heard from a lot of fans that they forgot that the two teams didn't even play last year. Like that just wasn't on the top of mind that way. So I tell you this, though. Anyone that says the rivalry doesn't have the luster, it doesn't matter as much. You let Georgia lose one game to Tech, and
you should just go spend time on that campus down there.
You should see Kirby getting ready for these guys. I mean, he works them hard. I mean, it's a big game. How we doing? Would anybody tell us if they tried to get some other people to subscribe today? Just if you did, tell us. That'd be nice. Even if you lie.
Basically, like me.
Is that guy dancing with a tech girl? She's got on a yellow.
Well, I mean,
you know, one guy that's liking that drive there, Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
We're gonna play the starters though.
Well, you got to on the first series, right?
I mean, you don't have to.
I'm just saying, if I'm a starter, I'm like, hey, you got to at least come on, coach, give me a second half. I could have taken my knee pads off in the halftime.
You took them off before you even came to the game.
See, that's what we call a softball. I just lobbed it up to you there.
I mean, they have them, but they have them rolled up.
Yeah, they do.
Kirby, this is the GPS on Kirby today is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
There's going to be something in this game that really chaps his ass. So you're going to see him go nuts.
He's going to pick on. He's
somebody. Look at that. The Oklahoma Sooners 86. We were pretty good now, 6.8 a game. Of course, they never had to get on the field. We had the ball all the time. We won 18 straight games. Sight. I tell you, Dan Jackson's where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Good job, Dano.
Dan is a smart football player.
Good job by Kirby there. They've been running the ball into the boundary and landing. In the first play, they faked it and tried to hit the guy to the field. Jackson was all over it.
You're waiting there for him. Just like on that kickoff. Knew that they might try the onside.
This is the best thing that Tech does is huddle up. You got good huddle discipline.
But I think they lift weights on the sideline before the game too.
Do the push-ups if you do something. Already come into the boundary.
Yep.
We're ready for it.
No, he cut it to the outside. But Corey Walker's waiting on him.
Well, the line's 35. Tech scores once. It's going to be hard to get it.
I'm watching Twitter. Everybody's giving the Mackey Award people 9 types of hell.
Well, they should.
An absolute blowout.
He's turning over in his grave. There he is. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Quarterback draw.
Malik Herring, best defense ever.
God, he's open.
Maybe spoke a little too early. He took a wallop, too.
Terrible coverage by Quay Walker.
40-yard pass. They hadn't thrown it a whole lot, but I thought Wyatt laid him out. Wyatt just basically tapped him.
Quay Walker.
I mean, Nakobe Dean seems to be strong in coverage, but Quay Walker and Channing Tindall in coverage have been could be better. 8:24, 8:23, 8:22 for folks who are just tuning in.
I thought Gibbs was their back. They hardly ever give it to him. Is this guy that they?
Mason is on the 11 carries. Gibbs with 2. They have thrown it to Gibbs one time.
Need a turnover.
Yeah.
Fast game.
I'll take it. Get them home, they can take a nap.
Bootleg. They call timeout?
Yes, sir. Call timeout. Clock was about down.
You show me a good coach, and I'll show you a coach that has his 3 timeouts left with 2-3 minutes to go in the half for a game. You don't call timeout there. I mean,
They're still moving guys around. I don't think they had to play right.
I mean, take the penalty. Of course, if you're not in the game, I guess you could call it. But
yeah,
I like to use those. I mean, protect those timeouts. But of course, they're not going to be coming from behind. I probably shouldn't have said that.
So
How many close game though? It's
no, it makes sense.
How many touchdowns is that for Brock Bowers this year?
10, isn't it?
I think that makes him the second. There's only been one season where a Georgia receiver had more touchdowns, and it was Terrence Edwards.
We don't even have a receiver in the top 25 in the conference, do we?
I don't think
And number of receptions. That guy from Ole Miss the other night caught 11 or 12 passes in one game.
I'll check real quick.
So that Treylon Burks at Arkansas, that guy, heck of a ball player. He was playing hurt last couple weeks too.
We need a the strip.
Coach, I mentioned this earlier. Did you see the story about Jake Bentley where he rehabbed what he could from an ACL to play one more game before he becomes a coach?
Yeah, he almost won, dude. They had him down against
all right, so
Coastal.
I covered him at Opelika High School. He's going to be a really good coach.
So for
Dad's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
to answer your question about where Georgia's wide receivers rank in the SEC, not even the nation, just the SEC, Jermaine Burton is 31st. Sorry, I'm going by yards. Let me do actual receptions. Let's change that up a little bit. So for receptions,
Do we have a wide receiver with 20 receptions?
Brock Bowers has 34. Then you get to Lad McConkey has 24.
Is that live or before this game?
It's before this game.
Okay.
24 receptions in 11 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is your leading receiver for Georgia. A.D. Mitchell has 23.
We're right in the yards per attempt though, and yards per completion. We're right up there.
Yards are way up there, but Lad McConkey ranks 46th in the conference in number of catches, and A.D. Mitchell ranks 49th in the conference in catches.
First in drops.
Yeah.
He's got about 8 drops.
Where does Jordan Davis rank?
Brock Bowers is 28th in the conference, but again, he's a tight end, not a wide receiver. This is mostly wide receivers, and he has 34 catches.
Oh, thanks for that. That's all bullshit, though. Doesn't matter. You answered the question, though.
You want to know?
It's my bad. It's my bad. But
Don't ask.
It's so immaterial.
You're the best, Coach.
We need a turnover here.
Yeah. I'd say a little strip fumble there.
You got a chance for a field goal,
I think
though. It's third down.
It's going to be third and
Jalen
9.
Carter's
Carter,
gonna eat that guy.
Scratch my arm, man. I'm going to get after your ass now.
He's still talking shit.
You better watch it.
7 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. We're at 7:08, 7:07, 7:06.
This is just ugly.
So you were talking about the other tight end, Texas A&M, Jalen Whitmire. He has 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. What about the one from Iowa State?
I was looking for him.
Trips up top. Going the other way. Probably should have gone to the trips up top.
They're going to get a field goal here.
I don't know if you saw N'Kobe Dean ripping his hand in there trying to pull the ball out.
You know, here's the thing. Did Coach Drink go to this game?
I mean, he could have technically, right? Because
If Drink is at the game, they're kicking a field goal. Collins, I applaud you, son. Hey, field goal ain't gonna help you. Go for it. Good job. I should have kept you. Give you another year. Let's go for it.
Let's go Rockdale County High School.
What's the play, man?
Shit, they get 7 seconds.
It's
5 seconds.
It's
You better get the ball snap.
False start.
Now they're going to try a field goal. I don't applaud you there. You should have used that. Now they're going to kick a field goal. That guy never knew coming out of the huddle what it was. He was asking him walking to the line.
Yeah.
Kyle Martin says in the chat, this high school offense is never going to throw to the trips.
No.
Hey, they can still run the wishbone. Triple option.
Tell you what, they
That's
They
a lot
went
of
to
Georgia fans.
two major bowls with that thing. You can say what you want to. Paul Johnson did a good job over there.
I know Georgia coaches hated going against it every year.
Well, it's just you had to be perfect.
They can't get lined up.
A little tackle there.
Yeah.
Get him, Channing.
Channing all over him.
Flutter ball.
Please don't have a flag.
Yeah, I was like, pull back, pull back.
Good job over on the sideline by Jay Chapman, Assistant Director of Football Operations. That's part of his job, to catch those runaway balls. Watch him. Watch him get this ball on the bounce. Show it, Jay.
Like this is the worst filmed broadcast I've seen in a long time.
Hey, if you have questions for Coach Donnan about Georgia, about college football playoff,
Call them in.
throw them up here because I think we're going to have some time to fill.
Is anybody going to subscribe?
You better let us know if you
got
told
this whole game and no subscriptions.
We want to be the biggest YouTube channel for the Georgia Bulldogs out there. That's a big deal to us, and
I want to be the biggest YouTube channel out there for not anything.
I don't know if we're going to get to that.
Who's that? PewDiePie or whatever? Or whatever. I want to do that. Let's get to a few million subscribers.
Why don't you get you a perfume line?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So there's this woman in my hometown that started a YouTube channel. And I mean, she's like, I think she's about 80 years old. And all she does is talk about her day, and she does some crafts and stuff like that. It's got like 150,000 subscribers.
Oh, I love
Really?
Yeah. It feels like she's their grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Good
She
for
goes
her.
to church like a half a mile from where I grew up.
I love
And
it.
like, there aren't many things about half a mile from where I grew up. As Roddy breaks the microphone.
Breaking mics all over the place.
That's all right. You bought it. You can buy
Yeah.
another.
That's why we need those, what do you call them, the super chats, so I can buy mics after I break them.
Ray Lubby says, just subscribe. Thank you, Ray.
Even if you lied, Ray, we appreciate it.
I don't think you did.
I'm sure.
I think Ray is a
Where's
loyal-
Ray from?
Ray, tell us where you're from, please.
Michigan's coming. Michigan's taking care of business here, boys.
Oh, my goodness.
Cincinnati loves them.
Michael Fowler says that fourth down play was as effective as Reggie Ball's fourth down play for Georgia Tech.
Oh,
Reggie's best play was when he spiked it on fourth down, like the coach told him.
Robbie Dodson, question for you, Coach. Does Notre Dame have a chance? What's their path?
Right today, as long as if Michigan wins and then loses to Wisconsin, if Oklahoma State loses tonight, although OU could beat them twice and maybe make it, but Alabama loses, there's a lot of things can happen. Alabama lose to us, which they're going to. That opens up a lot of avenues because, you know, if Ohio State loses today, they're out. So now all of a sudden you got Notre Dame's going to move up.
tell you, Notre Dame's going to be, that's who you're going to face. It's going to be a rematch.
Chip Crook says, I'm a 20-plus year subscriber to UGA Sports. Thank you, Chip.
Yeah, 20 years.
How many years?
20-plus
Woo!
years is what Chip said.
Does he subscribe to the
Yeah, make sure
YouTube?
you subscribe to this YouTube channel, too. That's for free.
Yeah.
But
Now, see,
that's-
it's guys like him who let us do what we do. I mean, he remembers when we had one writer, you know, and I mean, he was there when it was basically Steve doing a transcript of Coach Donnan post-game comments. You know, that was it.
Ray Lubby is in Atlanta.
Ray? Good job.
Kyle Morrow says, I unsubscribed just so then I could resubscribe.
That's really technically a good job.
That's well done.
Well, hey, he's doing what was asked. He's like, well, I've already done it, so
Let me see if I can sneak a couple of these in here.
Well,
real
here's the
fast.
deal. You think JT's coming in now?
I hope so.
Matt Thompson says Quay and N'Kobe have their knees covered, Coach.
They did.
That's what Matt Thompson says. We'll get more of these
That's
questions.
why he
in the next
couldn't
break.
cover.
There you go.
Still Stetson Bennett in the game?
Oof.
Okay.
James Lewis asks, will Darnell Washington be used to neutralize Will Anderson next week?
Got to use somebody to help the right tackle. Seriously, Will Anderson. That's one of the biggest mistakes we've ever made in recruiting, not getting on him quicker. But we've recruited better than anybody in the country, but hurts for their best player to be from Georgia, you know? Don't you think, Roddy? Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening. No, I was listening to I saw Lump Dog on there. He's also been a 20-year guy. So
You can throw it here.
434, 433. Good cut, Zamir.
First down, Georgia. Samir's close to doing something here. I think Kirby's in their ear. Let's run that rock.
Kenny Mack in the game.
13 yards on that run.
Coach, how do you handle running back rotations? How do you decide?
I don't know what we do here. I mean, we don't.
Georgia's
I think he does a good job, but I think sometimes you can let the guys play a little more. But it's very seldom a guy plays more than one or two plays in a row. He can run a toss to the boundary.
There's a toss to the boundary.
There it goes.
Oh, shit. That might just keep going.
Kenny Mack to the house. Touchdown,
59-yard TD. Did you just call toss to the boundary?
Yep.
Don't encourage him.
I really should. I need to see that Indian friend of yours. I'm gonna get some stock tips.
That Indian guy helped me a little bit. I was losing my car, my
mojo,
my juice. But
look at Broderick Jones running down there. He sees it when it's 30 yards out. He knows it's a touchdown.
That's good.
Man, if people got complaints about this game afterwards, you're gonna find.
Well, he got two series. He didn't play good,
but
that was it.
Well, but a lot of that's also play calls. Handoff, throw.
Well, let's don't get on that.
Let me get into some of these questions.
It's not his fault on some of
that we missed.
This is a deadly formation here. I mean, it's just deadly. Those three guys there. You got 6'7", 6'6", 6'4". You got some power ball here, and then you got what's big Broad. Come on, Broad, get the pen off your back. Just enough of an elbow there. And this is our third team back.
You notice Darnell Washington basically blocks two guys there.
He just kind of enveloped them.
He takes the first guy, keeps the second guy from being who had the outside contained. With guns on Kenny.
Kenny Mack, you ain't got anything wrong with that hamstring now. There's Jonas over there telling him, you don't have to go to class Monday, man. Take off.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll send the tutor.
Lump Dog asked Coach, who do you see Georgia playing zone or man-to-man against Alabama next week on defense?
Mix it up. Not a lot of man, though. If Chris Smith plays, we might play more. I think a real key in the game against them is stopping the run, though. If they're not able to run and they're pass only, you know what we can do rushing a passer. Texas A&M rushed the dog manure out of them. I mean, like 7 sacks. They're not as good as us.
Joe Barger says, I just subscribed, Coach. Go Dogs. Give them the natty this year.
Good job, Joe.
Hey, can you can you share the front page of UGASports?
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, never mind. I'll just tell people about it. Folks, if you want to be a subscriber to UGAsports.com, they're running a deal right now where you get the entire year for $20.21. Just use code RIVALS2021. So if you haven't been a subscriber and you've been thinking about it, you watch our show and you want to read all our stuff, use code RIVALS2021. That will get you a 1 year for $20, which is normally $100. And you'll get it for $20.21. And that saves you $80 on your first year if you're a new subscriber.
We got some airspeed in there anyhow.
I just pulled up the screen that you can see at the very top here. There's a banner at the top of UGAsports.com. That'll get you rocking and rolling from there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So that's what you're looking for. Make sure you get involved in the dog event, though. That's where the magic happens in this place. bought a new house this year. And I was like, hey, I need someone to come check out this deck before I buy this house. And someone on the dog vent got me connected with someone that could help me out.
Is that right?
Pinch. Oh, yeah. Happens
job.
all the time.
Good job.
That community is so special.
Will Mustamp, glad he's at Georgia. Uh-oh, they got you leverage
they
there.
do.
Miss tackle Kirby going to be very violent over there.
Percy Johnson asked, are we doing a watch-along show next week? Well, it'd be silly if we didn't. Now, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
we're riding this thing out.
We need about 10 more subscribers to make sure.
Wherever this train goes, we'll be following along.
We're talking about the whole.
Look at Kirby right. I tell you.
I can't take it. He's still mad. 38-0, about where you expected to be.
You telling George, go in there in secondary, George. Same thing.
Yeah.
Good hit.
William Poole laying the lick.
Jeffrey Jones says, enjoy your game coverage and comments so much better than the networks. I've been a subscriber since the first of the season. Coach, do you have any predictions on the Gators' next head coach?
You know, they're looking at Billy Napier from Louisiana Lafayette. They also Matt Campbell from Iowa State, Lane Kiffin. There's a lot of them out there.
John Petty says, I've subscribed. I live in Madison, Wisconsin. Go Dogs.
Madison, Wisconsin.
Woo!
I love Madison. Great college town.
Absolutely.
Beat Michigan or Ohio State next week. Why don't you?
Shout out to Jamon Dumas Johnson on that last play, number 10. That's going to be a fun inside linebacker to watch here in the coming years.
Yeah.
He doesn't look that big, Coach, but he looks like he's 47 years old.
Yeah.
See that headshot of him? He's like, that's a grown man.
Kyle Fold says, give me a pimento cheeseburger, side of onion rings, and a frosted orange.
Is that what he wants?
Well, the varsity is across the street, so.
Thing about it, though, our strength of schedule might be 50th, but we played a lot of teams with a winning record.
Seth Brantley wants to know, Roddy, who's Georgia's next big recruit?
Kamari Wilson.
Next big commit.
I'm going to say, look for Kamari Wilson to pop here soon.
All these people want the surprise commitments, and I'm thinking, well, it's not a surprise at that point.
I told you were going to get Jaheim.
They're convinced that they trying to hold score down here running the ball. They won't run another play this half quarter.
You're
What
right.
time is it? Is it even 2 o'clock yet?
It's 2:23. He's zipping right along in this game.
Alex Mitchum says, I respect Coach and Roddy observing man rule number 24. Men must have one theater seat between them. Good job.
Is that what the rule is?
That's what Alex says, and I agree with. I mean, it's very similar to the urinal rule, right?
Yeah.
That you got to have that buffer urinal.
Well, we always save a seat for Elvis. And we're going to get Joe coming in here, too. Joe might come from the reservation.
We do need Joe here.
Chris Garcia asked, Roddy, do you think Chris Smith will be back next week?
Fingers crossed. I mean, you absolutely have to have him for Alabama. So, but it always worries you when you hear his knee buckled. You know, it's like kind of a fluke thing there.
Who's knee buckled?
Questions about Chris Smith.
Will he be back next year or next week? So that's the question.
Will Christopher Smith be back next week was the question.
Yes.
No. Coach Donnan says yes. I do want to give a shout out to our friends at the Bud Light Seltzer for they're going to commercial, so we'll break into one of our commercials. And it's not even so much a commercial as is a acknowledgement of how much we appreciate the folks at Bud Light Seltzer for sponsoring it,
and how much you just love Bud Light Seltzer.
I do love it. I do, and
I enjoy it too. But you're on a different level with that.
Well, a lot of people don't like seltzer. They haven't tried. I don't like seltzers, and then they try it. And they're like, "Holy crap, that's great!" I'm like, "Yes, it is." So give it a shot. Pick some up at the grocery store. If you don't want to try the, apple crisp or the maple pear or the toasted marshmallow, which is fantastic, by the way, Just go with some of the the more classic ones. Get mango, get strawberry, get lemon lime or black cherry. Black cherry is killer. I mean, you could drink that stuff all day. And they're only 100 calories and 5% alcohol by volume.
That's my favorite piece of it because, like, I don't drink a lot of beer. But when I do, I tend to go with like porters and stouts, and you just feel so like bloated.
Yeah,
after
well,
that.
you're drinking liquid bread. You
don't get that with Bud
No.
Light Seltzer at all.
And
It's
no
refreshing.
weird aftertaste. And again, if you're not a seltzer person, hey, try Bud Light. Bud Light's, I mean, God, I can't tell you how many of those I had back in the day, watching games. So hit them up, and also shout out to our friends at Athens Ford. I tell people all the time that it's a great service facility out there, and they have great deals on the cars. But they do a lot in the community. They're always taking care of the people here. You see, if you want to go to the Christmas light show out at the Georgia Botanical Gardens, they're going to have these amazing lights out there. You need to go check this out. I do want to promote that. Come to Athens if you live here already. Great. If you're in the surrounding areas, drive up, go to the light show, or walk through the Botanical Gardens. And again, that's one of those things being sponsored by our friends at Athens Ford. They do stuff like that all the time. So it's a big shout out to them. All right.
Chris Lambert, thanks for watching. Says it's currently 4:30 in the morning in Korea. I love watching this.
That's my guy.
Great. I like that. Go over and talk to some people and see if they'll go over and talk to Kim Jong-un and see if he'll subscribe. Tell everybody in North Korea, please subscribe. Or no, he wouldn't say please. He'd say subscribe.
Yeah.
Kelby Hughes says I'm drinking a Bud Light lemonade seltzer right now.
Oh, the lemonade's so good.
Really?
The lemonade's fantastic. And again, I was having the lemonades earlier in the year when it was warmer, and I was mixing them with the tea seltzer. So there's a regular seltzer, there's lemonade seltzers, there's tea seltzers. Now we have the fall flannels.
When you look at the rapid ascension of these seltzers away, when Leon Farmer first started telling us about them and where they are right now, I mean, unbelievable how much they've hit the national scene, isn't it?
Mind-boggling.
He knew what he was doing when he told them to go with that.
And I'm not going to make fun of some of the other styles that are out there, some of the other brands, but I've tried the other brands. They're not as good.
Got a lot of variety too.
Yeah.
Third quarter, 5:49 left. Dog 57. Thanks for this update. Michigan scores. Michigan up 28-13 on Ohio State.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Oh my goodness.
Notre Dame right now is playing the fight song.
Tell you,
Here comes Cincinnati.
I called it 3 weeks
here's
ago.
what you're
Notre
saying.
Dame's going to be in the playoffs.
What you're saying is fatty Cincinnati.
Hey, I don't know if y'all saw that big tackle there. Julian Rochester, big number 92.
Like to see Julian in there.
It was last year or 2 years ago when he got in towards the end and started throwing people around. Like,
They call him Unc, right? For Uncle.
I call him whatever he wants.
Come off the edge here, Noah, and get a tackle. They're going to run it in the boundary again. He dropped the snap. Boom!
There's Jumas.
That was the center's fault.
I guess he dropped Dumas from his jersey name. I got a little confused by that.
Watch the snap here, Roddy.
Hey, it was low, coach. We were just mentioning that guy as being.
I'm just telling you right now, this down right here, Las Vegas is watching it about as much as they watch a moon rocket shot, because if they get 15 yards, they're going to kick a field goal.
3rd and 23. There's 13-32.
Going to try to hit it down the middle on you.
Wow, guys.
They actually ran the damn ball.
Yeah.
Big gainer now. They got a chance to. Golly.
He picked up a lot.
They're going to make it. Vegas.
Picked up 14 yards. Latavius Brenny with
Kirby didn't like that. Go for it, Jeff. Get a delay a game, though. That'll be even better.
Fourth and 9. Georgia leads 38-0.
12:51. 12:51.
Going to throw the ball on the left hash over there.
Oh,
Oh, the center.
Terrible snap.
Yeah. But it was down, wasn't it?
Viva Las Vegas!
Bright light city, gonna set my soul,
I'm telling you,
soul on fire.
That was a Viva Las Vegas right there. 35 and a half. You broke my hip. You made me slip. I ain't gonna bump no more with no big fat woman. Oh,
That hurts.
dude, that guy bumped with that big fat woman and broke his hip, made him slip.
This is why we have you on the show, Coach. Plus,
Hey,
calling touchdowns before they happen. You called 3 today.
Let's get JT in there and throw one to pick.
Yeah.
Shane Cothran says, my guy Donnie just subscribed. So thanks for telling your friend Donnie about us.
Donnie, good.
Thank you, Shane.
Don.
Michael Fowler says that Tech Center may need to get his gloves checked for some Waffle House grease.
Where's Chuck Ward today? I hadn't heard from him.
Yeah, where you at, Chuck?
He's probably shooting.
No, Chuck's over at Walmart getting some subscribers. But you talking about Donnie. When I was growing up, my father was named James M. Donnan Jr. and my grandfather was James M. Donnan Sr. So when I was born, I was the third. So there was a couple Jims in the house, around there. So they called me Don Donnan. So in the first grade, they put my name on a report card, James Donnan. On my permanent record. And the teacher asked me, he said, do you want to be called James or Jim? I said, my name's Don. She said, well, it's not on here. I said, well, call me Jim. So that's how I started being Jim. I know that nobody cares about that, but we heard about Donnie. I had to tell you about Don.
I grew up with a kid named Skipper.
I tell you the all-time name that I've ever heard. There's no way that anybody could one-up me on this. In Burlington, North Carolina, there was this family called the Muskows, Muscow.
Muskow.
They had Lonnie Ron and Hey Ron. He said, my name is Hey Ron Muskow. You like, hey, Ron.
Wow.
I got a brother named Lonnie Ron.
Oh,
and we love to set those duck pins up over at the YMCA bowling alley. Fastest duck pin setters ever.
Well, with a name like that, you have to have a special skill set.
He was a good ping pong player, too. I said, how's it going over there, Lonnie Ron? He said, I'm not Lonnie Ron. I'm Hey Ron. God, I'm delirious since I talked to that Indian. I can't get that smoke out of the teepee.
I always laugh. I always ask my dad, why is he called Mike? And I'm like, Dad, why are you? Mike's not a common Palestinian name. He's like, no, Habibi, it's not. I'm like, well, Baba, how the hell did you get named Mike? He goes, my first job was at a butcher, and they had name tags. They did not have one that said Ahmed. They had one that said Mike. That was the closest they got. So he became Mike.
JT. He's already going to check and play and throw it deep. Watch him. He's going to throw it deep.
Throw it deep.
Hand it off.
Hand up to Dejon Edwards. Big Xavier Trust in there pushing people around.
I'm just telling you right now, 65, the Tech team's pissed off because he got all these war daddies on the O-line. Don't go to sleep over there, Jordan. Seriously, this is the Las Vegas drive right here.
Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
Give me 5 there. That was nice of that kid. Don't let Kirby see him.
You got to read the story. It's a free story at UGASports.com.
That's a Georgia fan there. Falcons, Georgia.
Yeah. We put it out on Thursday about we interviewed Jordan Davis's mom about what a type of kid he is. Great story by Jed Main. You have to go read it.
It's fantastic. 2nd and 5, 11:49.
Good run.
Dejan time.
You remember when
Dejan's gonna have 100 yards.
when we were doing the podcast and before the bowl game, right when I first started working or volunteering for you, and they had I talked about seeing Jordan Davis and Shannon Tyndall over there at the
You did mention
indoor
those guys.
facility, and what two bright kids they were, and how they communicated and everything. Jordan liked to talk to me because my parents moved to Charlotte when I was in college. I never lived there, but my father worked for Wachovia. But we were talking about Charlotte and places to eat and everything. And then Shannon told me he's from Columbia. I told him my sister-in-law lived there, and he actually went to the same high school as our niece there. So we talked about it, but just to come up and talk to some complete stranger there, when you're just in there, and they were saying, man, I can't wait to come here and start practicing and everything. It was great. It just seems like yesterday, but it was 4 years ago.
Well, and you also told us about one of those guys that's in the game right now, Big Devin Willock.
Who's that?
Devin Willock.
Devin Willock. I mean, right now, just watch. I mean, this O-line in there right now is the future for Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of road graders. I'm talking about just complete mash. Just got to learn what to do and come around, and it'd be really good if they scored a touchdown here. There's a lot of people out there in Las Vegas.
But I see, because I mean, you always tell us about you, and you start telling us about Brock Bowers before anybody knew who the hell he was.
Well, I mean, people would have found out about him. That wasn't a real secret. But the best one I ever came up with, though, was telling you about Hill.
Yeah.
When he was just here for freshman year, and I said he's in the top 10 players on our team already.
Which was mind-boggling at the
time.
Plus
his thighs.
That's the only thing I remember.
I rode by while I was out there in Oklahoma. Zach, the coach for the Cincinnati Bengals, was growing up when I was out there, and I sent him a text. I said, if you can get Trey Hill, get him, man. And he was going to probably take him anyhow, but Trey's doing a good job for him. I tell you, they've turned that team around.
Absolutely.
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Trey Hill. Got a lot of offensive talent out there. Let's get some score updates from around the country. Army beating Liberty 31-16 in the fourth quarter.
That's what happens when you get that new contract there, Coach Freeze. You probably bought some burner phones.
Late third quarter, Florida 17, Florida State 7.
Go Gators. I want them to get bowl eligible.
Minute and a half left in the third. Michigan 28, Ohio State 13. Buckeyes have the ball.
Here's what's going to happen. You're going to see those in the Birmingham Bowl of Florida Gators.
I'll be fine with that.
There's Dogs for Pups getting some national publicity. We've heard about that program for a while.
Great. It's great. Come on now. Let's get one in the end zone here.
You're right, Jeff Dyer. And thanks for the message, Kyle Folds.
Getting these subscribers.
Yep.
He's going to try to hit the wheel to one of these guys right here. They're playing too close to hit it, though. You got to block somebody over there.
Nobody got blocked on that.
Coach John Petty is going to try to one-up you on the name game. Says he went to high school with a Kitty Peed.
What was it?
Kitty Peed.
That's pretty good. John, you one-up me, man.
Kitty Peed, I love it.
That's really like good. The Falcons coach, right? Dean Pease?
How do you spell the first name?
You talking about for Kitty?
Was it K?
Kitty, like a cat.
And it's Pays?
Peed, Peed.
That's pretty good. Had a sister named Kitty Cat.
There's a big old hole.
Face mask. Yeah.
There it is. I will say that my cousins out in California went to school with a kid named Dung Pyle.
Oh,
Pyle.
Billy Powell.
Dung.
These refs are ready to go over. They're ready to go back to the.
I just like the name alliteration. So, like I told you about Skip Skipper, but I also interviewed a guy named Doug Douglas. And when I worked in Albany, Philip Phillips won American Idol and did his homecoming concert down there in Leesburg.
You did American Idol?
I covered the homecoming concert for Philip Phillips. He's from Leesburg, Georgia.
Good job.
So I covered that when he came.
Hey, I used to know you when you had holes in your shoes, man. You're impressive.
That was first job out of college. That's about a decade ago now. It all brought me here, though, Coach.
I'm glad you made it.
You're old.
Getting there.
I like to see us get a touchdown here. It's going to be hard when them all lined up like that, but don't have enough people. What a run. This guy's quick. This is our fifth back.
Fifth back.
Kendall Milton's ready for the Dogs to go into the Dome next week.
Kyle Frank says, love your stories, Coach. Kyle Fold says, Coach, you are among the last of a dying breed of great storytellers. I'm thankful because you always make me laugh.
I appreciate that. You know, I'm a lonely guy, and when I get a little tension, I'm trying to throw it out there. It's hard to be talking when you're sitting in the chair at night to yourself.
Drew Tomlin says, I'm a UGA alum in Huntsville, Alabama. Got to win next Saturday.
Quick toss again.
Yeah. With all those blockers on the edge.
Block him.
He made it anyway.
Good job by JT right there calling the game. That's good for that kid.
Yeah.
How about Condon? They're from Oklahoma. I know his parents are happy.
I didn't even notice Condon was in there. That's fantastic. Good job, Owen.
Good job by Big Mims.
Yeah.
So those folks out in the desert, I think, are.
Yeah, I mean, we got to cover this kickoff. You're going to have some other guys covering here.
What do you think the spread will be next week, Roddy?
4. Right now, it's already out.
We're
a 4-point favorite. You got to get up early in the morning to catch up with us, son. You've been up in the mountains.
I've been in the mountains with no Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi. No. But I thought it was good that show you the kind of stuff we got with our channel. There, you were coming from the mountains of North Carolina. I was out there in Oklahoma, and Brent Rollins was here in Georgia, and we did around the league. It should have been around the nation.
He went down to Bainbridge yesterday, too, for North Oconee.
Yeah, that's a good win for North Oconee Titans. We got 2 teams in the semifinals here, Prince Avenue and North Oconee Titans. Great.
Alex Mitchum says, Coach's stories are the best and reminds me of watching games with my family.
Good, Alex. Where does he live?
Alex, tell me where you live.
Can I be the drunk uncle that yells too much?
Well, you don't have to ask.
You can do it. You're already in that mode. Where's Alex from?
He's going to type and let me know. I trust that he will.
I like the comments.
I need to.
John Petty says that Kitty Pede was the nicest girl in class and no one ever gave her grief.
Oh, that was nice.
She had to be. She couldn't.
Kind of comes with the territory, right?
They had a guy when I was playing, before I got to state, that played basketball at NC State. His name was Tommy Urin. And he would be, and Ray Reeves was the announcer for Channel 5. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the William Mill Reynolds Coliseum, North Carolina State's pleased to have as a guest the basketball team from the University of North Carolina. Here's the starting lineups for the NC State Wolfpack. At guard from Raleigh, North Carolina, Tommy Urin. And then they start the game, and Urin gets the tap, and he's dribbling down the court. Urin is dribbling. Tommy Urin.
The word dribbling there is just perfect.
But, hey, when everybody grows up, you watch all these guys on TV, and you hear these announcers and everything, and Ray Reeves was the guy for Raleigh. I mean, there's no way. We only had about 3 stations. So Burlington picked up Greensboro, Raleigh, and Chapel Hill. So I'm playing Little League Baseball, and we go down and we're playing on television against this Raleigh team. And for some reason, Ray Reeves doing the game, but they don't have a press box, but he's right there on the first baseline, on the third baseline, almost beside the screen there. And I go up there. And here's shortstop Jim Donnan from Burlington. I said, God, I made it now. Ray Reeves is talking about me. That's so dumb, but that's a true story. Tommy Urin.
Kyle Morrow says, I live near Huntsville, Alabama, too. Georgia wins next week, and they better stay away. My obnoxiousness will know no bounds. And then he followed with, here in Alabama, the birds fly upside down. There's nothing worth crapping on.
There you go. Huntsville. I went down there to Huntsville for a thing for the SEC coaches, Mary and I, and she played tennis with some lady that's a tennis legend. They had her as a guest, and it was fun.
Let Zirkle kick off, Coach.
Zirk, first kick.
We had asked where Alex Mitchum was from. He says Monroe.
All right, Monroe.
Down the road here.
Got a good golf course.
Hey, did y'all see Zirkle score a touchdown last week in the jumbo package?
They had the graphic on the bottom of the screen with ESPN Plus, Coach, that when Jordan Davis scored.
You think they'll let JT throw a couple here? Put Pickens in there. It's just going to make a lot of people mad if Tech scores twice.
No, Kyle Morris said that was Jordan Davis kicking off.
Look at him having fun over there. Look at those guns on Brock Bowers. I mean, that guy hasn't reached puberty yet.
I tell you, he's going to win the next 2 Mackey Awards.
They got leverage on us here, boys. Great tackle there.
David Daniel?
David Daniel.
We got some guys in there. Y'all going to have to help me with the numbers.
Oh, the shadows are finally a little better. That was tough that first quarter.
My list there.
The last team to lose back-to-back games by 40 points, Maryland. They got a chance today to score, though. They could score here on this group. Just on onside kick.
Those numbers look like they're put on there with tape.
They were. They got those.
It looks like masking tape.
Well, Bobby Dodd used those for practice once.
Yeah.
Good tackle.
Wow.
Speed.
The mirror.
Speed me.
All right, so let's do this.
We got another subscriber or what?
DeMoss Johnson doing work.
Well, end of the third quarter, Michigan 28-13, still leading. Looks like Ohio State is going to be going for it on 4th down.
Michigan seriously is going to be playing Wisconsin and Minnesota. They're playing up at Minnesota today. And the winner of that game wins the North, right? Or the East or West. I mean, West, what is it? What divisions you call them? They're going to try to hit the ball back over here.
The leaders and the legends.
Make the tackle.
Oh, that was a good block. First down.
Super chat from Jesse Fortson says, this show is so ingrained in our game day traditions that my kids have started calling y'all Uncle Jim and Uncle Roddy. We appreciate it.
I appreciate that. Uncle Jim.
And drunk Uncle Roddy.
I better be careful about talking about the Indians then. I had a good Indian joke, but I don't know if their kids are listening.
Yeah, I think that they can ask for forgiveness.
Let's not get demonetized right off the bat.
What did Uncle Jim say? Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it.
Yeah. Pete Ellis.
Thank you, Jesse.
Pete Ellis just subscribed from Flowery Branch. Thanks, Pete.
I grew up in Flowery Branch. In the summers, my grandmother lived up there.
We got a penalty here. Holding. Been doing it all night. Call it on them.
Yeah. Hey, Pete, you know where Federal Park is? I always loved going to my grandmother's on around Christmas because they had a caboose right there in the middle of Flowery Branch on the and they put a little Christmas tree on top of it.
Whatever flower
you knew it was Christmas when they put the little Christmas tree on top of the caboose.
Whatever it was when you grew up then, it's a different thing now. That place is booming.
It's nuts.
It's growing like crazy. That whole little corridor.
Mm-hmm. I don't reckon
everybody needs to be listen to Roddy about all his stuff around Atlanta. He knows it. He's a connoisseur of
Drunkle Roddy instead of Uncle. I love it.
So, Uncle Roddy.
Drunkle.
Brett Weimer.
That's I knew he's going to get killed. Chadless with a murder hit.
What you like is these guys are in position. These guys aren't going to hit 150 today, are they?
They are not. Let's see.
I have the desire to call Chaz Chambliss Charles, and I don't know why.
Call him Kitty. Kitty, let's go Kitty Chan. The guy that wins the player of the game is going to be our Kitty Award.
Yeah.
Get Kitty the
Kitty
award.
piece.
And then we'll be doing this for weeks, and people go, "Where did that start?"
the Kitty Bees Memorial.
The Kitty Award.
Oh, shit. That's a good one, man.
They got 163 yards, Coach.
Gonna get a lost yardage play here.
Well, there it is. Oh, they had
he danced around it.
Oh, fumble.
All right, so now that this game is officially in hand, do we agree that Georgia is in the college football playoff, period?
No question.
No question.
Okay.
Especially if Ohio State loses.
Now, if something, I don't think this
You
is
know what would really be a ball buster today? It's not going to happen because Alabama's going to run fast. Cut on that game. They're going to run a lot of quick stuff. If Auburn would beat Alabama and Ohio State and Alabama both lose today, those people in the football committee
lose their mind.
There'd be some resignations.
there would be some canceled flights in there to Texas.
I don't want to have anything to do with this.
Let's get a pick here. Pick. You were offsides.
Oh my
God almighty, how can you miss a tackle like that?
God. You need to strip one of those, MJ Sherman. Come on.
What you don't need here is a block for them to fake a punt on you.
Julian Rochester's out there chewing some people out.
Matthew Pilot, Roddy, how do you think Carson Beck will do next year?
My thought was that Carson Beck was going to transfer, just because there's kind of you got two quarterbacks there. But
I don't think you will.
I'm saying if that's a kid who has potential, he got a little nervous when he was given the shot earlier this year. But next year,
he gets along with Monken good. He knows. I mean, you got to figure JT go pro, but
Touchdown Ohio State.
okay.
So that's going to be a one-score game.
Smart play by you, McConkey.
I think with Carson though, if
I think we should air
he
it.
was a little scared.
I
but now
think
he
we
gets
should.
over it.
I think we should air it out right here. Just run it up.
Leave no doubt. Hey, if Notre Dame can score 55,
How about Erickson over there with a towel around him, like he's getting ready to come out of the corner? Like he's going to help him, a corner man.
I will say the funniest thing that we had last week was Russ Tanner talking about the offensive lineman trying to take off those knee braces quietly. He's like,
During the game?
Yeah. He's like, when you're
trying to do it with coaches can't see it.
when you're up this high, you're up 4 or 5 scores, and you're not going back in there, and you start loosening them up, and you try to hide them in places. But if the coach sees you take them off too early, you get in trouble.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. We were playing in a bowl game at Missouri, and we had this kid named Clifford Mundy from Florida, fast, man. He was really fast. And he knew my son Todd had some per diem because all the kids got per diem beside. And he told Todd to go get him a hot dog. Told him he'd pay him back. And Todd got it for him. Gave him a damn hot dog on the sideline. Clifford Mundy.
Well, that was the other thing that Russ says. You're over there on the sideline. You got like 2 quarters to go. You're not going back in the game. You start looking around for snacks.
You look for snacks and you look up in the stands, see how they look. Some good girls. And
yep.
Greg Rosenberg says, sad to say Carson
not the
Beck.
coaches, just the players.
Yeah,
the coaches.
you lie.
Greg,
But I did commit it when I told y'all about Missouri. I was bad about turning my neck on those Golden Girls. I mean, I'm supposed to be okay. Now we're doing a quarterback center exchange, and I'm looking over those Golden Girls.
Well, if you've got a Y chromosome, you're naturally inclined to look that way.
And
Every time I have a photographer cover the Georgia-Missouri game, I get back 450 pictures of the Golden Girls and like 3 of the quarterback. I'm like, hey.
I'm just going to tell you right there, Brian Bosworth, you can say what you want to about what happened to him but that guy right there, we were talking about the other day, when we had a scrimmage, 1 versus 1, we figured it out the other day. There were 8 first-round draft choices between the offense and the defense.
Wow.
8
That's
out of
insane.
22 first round. And Tony Casillas, Brian Bosworth, Troy Aikman, Keith Jackson, Ricky Dixon. I mean, unreal. And offensive coaches used to say, hey, let's just go 2 versus 2.
Slackers.
I mean, couldn't make an inch.
Late fourth quarter, Baylor leads Texas Tech 27-24.
I'd love to see those Baylor Bears go down. I don't know how anybody can find anything wrong with these guys today, but they will. I mean, it's hard to go out there and play and be that efficient. No turnovers. Didn't have an offensive penalty. We had 2 bad series. You know, hey, that happens.
But that won't do it versus Tech. Versus Bama.
Daryl Jones with a super chat. He says, this is a double super chat for this week and next. I won't be able to watch because I'll be in the bins. Go Dogs.
Go for it.
Enjoy your time, Daryl.
Hey, Daryl, get him through for us.
You're going in with Beck.
Be glad it's not the Georgia Dome. That place was cursed.
Yeah.
Bulldogs will be staying over there next week at the they stayed at the Omni, but they're going to move over to the Hilton next week. So if you want to go over there and go give them a little plus walking out of the – there's my boy Connor. There's one. Connor played defensive back here. Now he's works for the medical staff. Very good.
His wife was in my broadcasting classes.
He's good. She works for Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm. Great family.
Good run.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Savon Clark.
58 pulling up his pants because his knees are not covered good. Who's 58?
Austin Blasky.
Blasky, show those knees. Y'all learned a lot today about knees. Let's watch this next game.
Knees and peas.
You're not going to
I want to see if they put in Dylan Fairchild. I'd like to see him.
Kitty Peas. We could do a story on Kitty Peas' knees. KPNN.
All right, less than 3 minutes left in this game. Georgia with a 45-0 lead.
That left guard is William Mote.
Mote?
M-O-T-E.
Senior day was not enough, Roddy. You have to embarrass Tech with the walk-ons as well.
Yeah. And you got the left tackle. You got Owen Condon out there.
Tell me how many yards they got. They don't have 200, do they?
171.
Too bad.
I know. You can tell you're broken up over it. So, Coach, I wrote this in my 3-2-1 column. Georgia's going to finish this season 12-0. And I know everyone's talking about next week and the playoffs and all that. 12.
What do you think? What do you think Trey Scott is telling them right now? Seriously, we can talk about that in just a second. But Trey Scott is saying, look,
food.
When you take off your uniforms today, we're going to have some Chick-fil-A on the bus.
Food. You got to feed them boys.
And
Savon Clark's eating, though.
So what about 12-0 and what else?
I would say that we, as a fan base, folks are thinking about playing next week against Alabama. You know, we're talking about playoffs all the time. But I kind of wrote in my column, I wish everybody would take just 2 seconds to think about the fact that you're ending this season 12-0. You have a perfect season.
Right.
When's the last time that happened? 1980.
And also, this is the 4th year that Kirby swept Tech, Auburn, Tennessee, and Florida, and it's only happened 4 times prior to this, and he's done it 4 times in 6 years. The dominator.
That dog will hunt.
I put that in there, and people are like, I didn't realize that. I'm like, yeah, we're living in golden times.
Yeah. He's going to run it over here again. I mean,
Savon's got it.
Go on and keep it one time back, just for your health.
That should do it. They'll take a knee here and one.
Viva Las Vegas!
BT.
We got a 16-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Last loss was Florida.
Yep. Which even that one shouldn't have been.
Good job, Kirby. Way to have him ready.
BT Hotnet. Coach, do you think Xavier Truss should start?
Not at this point. The thing that everybody sees is a bigger guy, and certainly Erickson doesn't do a lot of things as good as he needs to, but he knows what to do. He makes very few errors. Truss has a tendency to be either really good or really bad. Make some penalties, and He's getting better though, but he's a good guy to have. And I'll meet you over there at the Waffle House.
Georgia finishes the regular season 12-0 and outscored its opponents 488-83.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Brent Key talking to him. Can I get a pic with you? Help my resume. Go Dogs. But seriously,
she's adorable. Look at that girl.
2-4-6-8. We want to dominate. Tech. No penalties. I tell you, very, very good about no penalties. And get some eye contact here, Kirby. It's okay to look at her.
No. I don't want to get in trouble. And Rob says he's going to jump up there so he can get his screen time on TV. I should learn to do that, getting the background shots there. So Georgia had 463 yards. Tech had 171.
Careful about that word. They did play hard early, but we got a lot more left ahead of us. And we got to keep getting better and keep ascending. And I'm proud of the effort the entire team gave. But we got to do a much better job on special teams and run game before we go get the lead.
You mentioned effort. You guys both 12-0. You go to
What did we do wrong with special teams?
How have you gotten this team to play good?
I can't think of anything.
That's the standard. They hold each other accountable.
They didn't catch a couple punts? Yeah, a 32-yard punt.
Yeah, that's true. They got both 99s. So who's the other one?
I don't know who that other 99 is because Zirkle's also 99.
I'm just going to tell you right now, go over there and beat Tech like that.
21 first downs, Coach, for Georgia, 9 for Tech.
I didn't even hear I'm a rambling wreck once.
I think they played it to start the game, and that was about it. So quite the ass kicking there. 45-0 is your final score. Georgia covers.
Y'all going to have one of those shows after the game?
Yep, I'm going to run to the house and
what do you call it?
The post-game overreaction show. We're going to freak out about this.
Can you get some subscribers?
Yeah.
We got 3 subscribers today that told us they did.
I think we have more than that. I lost track of it. I think
I'm going to tell you one
5 to 10
thing. Those uniforms are Oregon State Beavers, not good. Trick or treat.
Georgia has become the first team since Texas in 1979 to hold its first 12 opponents to 17 points or less.
Who got 17 on us?
Tennessee.
Yeah, they did. I think Tennessee Vanderbilt tonight could be ugly. Watch that Alabama game. Watch them line up fast today. And if I'm wrong, blame the Indians.
Touchdown, Michigan.
Oh, there goes Michigan.
Michigan up 14 right now, about to be 15 with how long's left in this game?
Jim Harbaugh today is going to get a year's supply of khaki pants.
He may be getting a big fat contract if it's going to match all these.
Here's the thing: he's got some incentives. He took a cut from $9 million down to $6 million, but part of his incentives was to win the Big Ten. He can win it next week. Unfortunately, Michigan State beat Mel, but there's 2 guys talking about where we're going to put our money.
Yeah,
this guy here is 11-9, and he's 17-14. They both got $20 million worth of money. In advance, and I tell you, Mel Tucker is going to do a terrific job at Michigan State. He was a great assistant coach here, and loyal to Kirby, and he deserves it. I'm glad he got it. Go for it, man.
I'm very excited for Mel Tucker. That is I think he's in a good conference. I think he's obviously a strong recruiter. He's a good football mind. I think that man is going to have success in that conference.
Exactly. And all you fans out there are getting ready for the game next week, I want you to tune in, and I'm going to give you a little bit of what's going to happen in the game. One of the things we're going to have to do as an offense is attack their safeties. There's their boundary safety and their nickel guy. We're going to have to show a lot of different looks as far as moving around and all to get their defense confused, and that'll help us a lot. We got to put some pressure on their right tackle rushing the passer, because that's been a nemesis for them. They put a lot of different guys in there, and we got to do a really good job of tackling in space. That's something that they don't do well, And we've got to do that. We missed some tackles today, but that's a little bit of what you'll hear from next week. I'm not going to give you everything, but that's a good start, isn't it?
That's a great start. We'll have the rest of that breakdown on our Tuesday show. We do the Tuesday at noon. We have the UGA Sports live show with Coach Donnan. Be sure to tune into that. We're going to break down here. I'll run back to the house about 15 minutes. We will do
Are
the.
you going to run or are you going to drive?
I'll drive.
Okay.
Do you need a ride?
Thought you
I've
might
seen
be
those
running.
seltzers go. Well, you know what? The alcohol. You're fine.
Exactly.
You're fine.
5% alcohol by volume. And I don't. Oh, he's
Can
stuck
I-
in his face.
Okay. Can I tell the Indian joke?
Have the kids log off. Sure.
Why does an Indian chief wear a loincloth?
Why does an Indian chief wear one?
So he can totem pole.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Laugh hernia. Is that a thing? God damn it.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. We'll
Thanks
see y'all
for
next week.
subscribing.
See you, folks.